Wilson is celebrating.
Feeling good. We just pulled ahead. So, I think we got this one.
She spoke to KIRO Newsradio's John Curley after Wilson took a 91-vote lead over incumbent Bruce Harrell just yesterday.
Really excited, right? I mean, we've been continuing to move forward with our transition planning, and we'll have some exciting announcements soon about people who are involved.
Harrell has not conceded. King County election still has roughly 6,300 ballots left to tally. A recount is highly likely. Meanwhile, King County Executive-elect Gurmai Zahalai is hitting the ground running as he prepares to take over office on November 25th. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more on what we can expect from Zahalai's administration.
At just 38 years old, Gurmai Zahalai is the youngest person ever elected King County executive. He's also the first immigrant and the first refugee to hold the office. Because of his past, Zahalai says he is sensitive to the needs of marginalized communities, but plans to serve the needs of all of King County.
Safer communities, more affordable housing, better health, and a government that earns your confidence every day.
Zahalai officially takes office November 25th. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Travelers at SeaTac Airport are facing disruptions again today. FlightAware reports there have been 53 flights canceled and 18 delayed so far this morning. But relief may be on the horizon. The Senate has passed a bipartisan funding bill to end the shutdown, sending it to the House for final approval. Until then, passengers are urged to check their flight status before heading to the airport. But despite the package to reopen the government, the Trump administration continues to fight court orders that would require them to fully fund SNAP benefits. KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Audley went to a Puyallup food bank.
Odelia Santos is disabled. She relies on SNAP to keep food on the table for her 12-year-old grandson. 2 weeks without it meant coughing up cash she saves for other bills.
Now I'm in a bind in a bit, because I don't know what to do at the end of the month.
Back and forth court rulings have left SNAP recipients in limbo. Some states, like Washington, acted quickly to start releasing full benefits last week after a court ruling allowed them to do so. The Federal Appeals Court left that ruling in place Sunday night, but the Supreme Court has put a temporary hold on benefit payments.
A final ruling could come down today. Meanwhile, a woman is in jail after her neighbors reported her lighting things on fire and throwing them into yards Sunday night in Spanaway.
Deputies say they caught the 33-year-old in a backyard with a lighter and an M80 type explosive. Her arrest was recorded by a deputy's body camera.
What did I do? You're setting stuff on fire. Thing on fire. That's the other two dudes and girls down there. I swear to God, I didn't set...
Come over.
Okay. He keeps trying to tell me I set something on fire when I didn't.
She faces 2 counts of second-degree reckless burning. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Newly released dashcam video shows the moment a truck driver was killed in a Lakewood police chase back in 2023. KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman reports the driver's family is suing the city for $28 million.
A wild police chase in the South Sound.
150, start fire priority. They just got hit by a semi.
Ends in tragedy. Mark Lindquist, who is representing the Vetroff family, argues not only is Lakewood Police responsible, those officers also violated department and state law.
Here, all they had to do was follow their own departmental rules, apply common sense, and Mr. Vetroff is not killed.
As the Vetroff family continues to push for justice, they hope this lawsuit can shine a light to make sure this doesn't happen to any other family.
A former Pierce County Sheriff's Office major pleads not guilty to 2 counts of vehicular assault DUI. Prosecutors say Chad Dickerson caused a July crash in Graham that injured a family of 6. For his court hearing yesterday, Dickerson's attorney spoke on his behalf.
He is taking this case very seriously. He is 52 years old. He's married. He has been a long-standing member of our Pierce County community.
Dickerson remains free under strict conditions, including no alcohol and no contact with the victims. A jury trial is set for January. And now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic right now. Everett to Seattle about 28 minutes. Linwood to Seattle about 15 minutes. Marysville to Seattle about 32 minutes right now. And for your KIRO News Radio forecast on this Tuesday morning, we're starting off with temperatures pretty moderate. We've got some low clouds. We'll have some sunshine today with highs close to 60. Right now, it's about 46 in downtown Seattle. Coming up, G. Scott breaks down Sunday's afternoon dominant Seahawks win. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
JTV, Jewelry Television. With 80,000 jewelry looks, we're kind of a big deal. Even bigger with new lines of designer handbags, fragrances, and more. And biggest of all, because you could win a 7-night stay in Bali, spending money, and thousands worth of JTV jewelry, making you kind of a big deal. Enter by December 7th at jtv.com/sweepstakes. No purchase necessary. Then watch JTV on TV or shop jtv.com for big holiday deals.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Seattle's Morning News. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
Joining us from the G and Ursula Show, and of course the Reset podcast from mynorthwest.com. G. Scott is here. What a game.
Come on now.
That
Come
first
on.
half, how about that?
Come on. Now, listen, I don't know who listens to the show. I don't know if Gen Z and Gen Alpha. This is only for Gen X and baby boomers going to understand what I'm going to say, okay? Mike McDonald walked into Lumen Field yesterday and said, let me get my belt. Let me just get my belt. And so, look, I know they don't do that anymore. It's not putting a PC to do that. But back in our day, kids, when they said, let me get that belt, you knew what that meant. And that's what it meant yesterday. I'm telling you, every time an Arizona Cardinals player or fans, anytime they see a Seahawk player, what do they say? Are you my daddy? This is 9 games in a row. 9 games in a row. And I'm talking about they pulled a can of whoop yesterday. I don't know what I was watching.
Who is the best in the world, by the way? Who's been saying so for months, by the way? Passed 1,000 yards yesterday.
I've been telling y'all. My man Sully hit me up. My man Sully hit me up yesterday and said, hey, this JSN guy. I'd never heard of him before.
Just like pressing your buttons, dude.
Hey, so It's funny you bring him up. So pregame, he does his deal where he catches the jug machine all the time, and usually I time my stuff to where that's where I usually go talk to him pregame when he's done. I don't get in his routine. But afterwards, we talked for about 10 minutes yesterday, and the first thing he says to me, he says, "Yo, a little kid said, you're the best in the world." He said, I started cracking up. He was like, he actually kind of almost sounded like you. So, yeah. What JSN is doing has been special. But more importantly, I got one for you, and for those TV folks out there, Sam Darnold is Marty from Ozark.
Oh, Jason Bateman.
Come on now. And what I mean by that, like you underestimate Marty in Ozark, but Marty is a dog. You know what I mean? Oh, he's such a nice guy. Oh, he wears a quarter zip with a collared shirt. You know what I mean? He's a nice guy, but he gets it done. That's Sam Darnold this year. This dude has been balling. It's beautiful to see. Love everything that's happening.
Well, we need to get you in a quarter zip at some point, G. I want to talk to you about this. The defense. This is one of the most solid defenses I feel like I've seen in the past 10 years. Yeah, it's good. I'm not comparing them to nobody. This defense is dominant. And what makes this defense so special and different, and you guys can, by the way, they don't give you this kind of sauce in sports media. They always just follow and copy each other. Let me give you the sauce. The best thing that's different about this defense than any other Seahawk defense that you've ever seen, this defense, week in and week out, is dealing with injury. Spoon was out. Julian Love is still out. Jay Reed was out. No matter, Josh Jobe is out. No matter the injury they have, this defense continues to step up. Further proof that Mike Macdonald's system is really good where you can just plug and play, right? And so I think this is different. So like, oh, this is 2.0. No. We have never seen a Seahawk defense like this because no Seahawk defense has had to deal with injury. Like, go ahead, look up the injury report, like they have done, and continue to get better. I mean, they keep whooping.
Speaking of what sports media tends to say, I thought DeMarcus Lawrence was washed up. I thought he was too old. And that, by my count, he had
amazing.
2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Hey, you right. Let me tell you something. This defense right here, this defense is like a TSA line. They stopping everybody. You know what I'm saying? By the way, you guys on the big screen. Were you at the game yesterday, man?
Heck yeah.
Did you see what I said on the big screen yesterday? I don't know if you got there early enough. But anyway, I said I was doing the 4 storylines, and I got to Sam Darnold talking about how great he was. By the way, my son reached out to me, and he saw the video of it, and he was super impressed. Anyway, we get to the Sam Darnold part, and I'm like, hey, Sam Darnold's done these things. These are his stats, blah, 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 passer rating, blah, blah, blah. And then I go, he's already led this team to 6 wins. Today, he's looking to lead them to 7 wins. And I go, 6-7!
I missed it.
Oh, man.
Darn it.
Hey, what? I was so yesterday, I was so happy with myself that I was the first one ever in Seahawks history to bring 6-7 to the big screen.
Done like only you can. Good job.
Come on now. Now I just got to think about these damn quarter zips I got to wear. Oh, man.
Washington's child welfare system is on pace for a record number of deaths and near fatalities. The Center Square reports 45 children have died or nearly died so far this year. Most were infants or toddlers, and over half of the cases involved opioids, especially fentanyl. Officials say the numbers have slowed since early 2025, but the year could hit a grim record. Some lawmakers are blaming a 2021 law that raised the bar for removing kids from unsafe homes. And now to your KIRO Newsradio forecast. It is chilly and foggy this morning. It will be a dry afternoon with highs in the low 50s. Right now, it's about 46 in downtown Seattle. Coming up, crime and punishment, our weekly check-in with Casey McNerthy at the King County Prosecutor's Office. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Did you know in Washington State, you can see a physical therapist without a referral from your doctor? That's right. Thanks to Direct Access, you can skip the wait and get the care you need right away. Shannon O'Kelly, how has Direct Access changed the game?
Direct Access for us, Brock, is a game changer. Why? Is because there is so much research and data out there that says if you get in early when you have a musculoskeletal problem or an injury, the earlier you get in and we can start care, the better outcomes and the decreased downstream cost, okay? So it's so important. Our providers are all doctors of physical therapy. They're all trained to identify situations and problems. They've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the knowledge. If you get in and start therapy early, we're going to get you back to activity, pain-free, and moving and having fun.
Fast, easy, effective. Direct Access is your path to better movement, starting with a single step. Visit irgpt.com to schedule your appointment today. irgpt.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Today is Veterans Day, and I want to say thank you to every man and woman who's ever worn the uniform of the United States military. Thank you for serving our country and keeping us free. Hi, I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. We are the VA loan experts, so we work with veterans every day, and we have a lot of love and respect for the people who put their lives on the line to keep our families and loved ones safe. Veterans and active duty military personnel sacrifice time away from their families so that the rest of us can enjoy living in the greatest country in the world with our families. Today, on Veterans Day, please take time to say thank you to any veteran, member of the military, or members of their family that you happen to know or may meet on the street. Veterans Day is only one day on the calendar, but at Best Mortgage, we honor veterans every day. Our continued freedom and way of life depends on the men and women in uniform, and we want you to know we've got your back. Happy Veterans Day from all of us at Best Mortgage.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain, or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83, or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope, included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83, or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
Draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
83, or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
83, or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Get a quote today at Progressive.com.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow and binge all episodes of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, available now wherever you listen.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. A Senate bill to end the government shutdown is now headed to the House. CBS's Michael Wallace has the latest.
8 Democrats crossed the aisle last night to approve the Senate plan, which does not include the health care tax credit extensions Democrats had been holding out for. Vermont Independent Senator Bernie Sanders.
What the fight was about was health care. It was a loss.
The bill funds the government through January and reverses the layoffs enacted during the shutdown. Maine Republican Senator Susan Collins.
I think this is a great victory for the American people.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Until the shutdown is officially over, travel days will likely get worse. Air traffic controllers continue to go without pay, with many of them seeking other alternatives to make ends meet. This morning, 6% of flights at 40 of the nation's busiest airports will be cut. That number goes up to 10% by Friday. SeaTac Airport's Perry Cooper says wait times at the checkpoints are fairly normal, about 8 to 13 minutes.
Kudos to all of our local TSA and FAA workers who have shown up and done their job since October 1st to think about how long this has been without getting paid.
You can help unpaid federal workers at SeaTac Airport by dropping off donations at the airport's conference center mezzanine between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. The airport needs non-perishable foods, toiletries like toothpaste, and especially diapers. There was a similar effort during the 2018 shutdown. A Supreme Court case out of Mississippi could shake up how Washington counts ballots. The Washington State Standard says the justices will hear a challenge to counting mail-in ballots received after Election Day. Washington allows ballots postmarked by Election Day to be counted for up to 21 days. Attorney General Nick Brown filed a brief urging to the court to protect that system. He says the case could impact military families and voters overseas. A ruling is expected by the middle of next year. And she was 7 percentage points behind on election night. Now Seattle mayoral candidate Katie Wilson is in the lead. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay has details.
Wilson's lead over incumbent Bruce Harrell is very, very small. She's up by 91 votes, 133,469 for her, 133,378 for him.
Those young people, man, they just wait to the last minute. And we know that young people are, by and large, strong supporters of our campaign. So we're feeling really hopeful for these last few ballot drops.
In fact, she told John Curley right after Monday's numbers came in, quote, "I think we got this one." Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
In a statement, the Harrell campaign says it's working to ensure that every vote is counted. This is important work and essential in a close race. The next dump of votes happens today at 4 p.m. Meanwhile, much of Clallam County on the Olympic Peninsula is experiencing a widespread internet and phone outage. It started with a fire on Sunday night. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has details.
Clallam County Fire Marshal Joel McKean says the fire started just after 6 Sunday night behind Olympic Tire on East 1st Street. Old tires burning in a dumpster, he says, quickly spread.
A nearby power pole was exposed to the heat and flames, resulting in damage to a transformer and an Astound broadband fiber line.
Cutting internet and phone service. According to KNOP News Radio, Astound is working on the problem, but currently there is no estimated time for restoration. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Now for your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. Tacoma to Seattle about 28 right now. Puyallup to Renton about 18 minutes. Everett to Bellevue about 28 minutes. And for your forecast, it'll be chilly and foggy this morning. It will be dry this afternoon with highs in the low 50s. Right now, it's about 46 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
We check in with Casey McNerney from the King County Prosecutor's Office for our Crime and Punishment segment.
Casey, Friday night, another fight on a Metro bus spilled onto the streets and ended with a shooting in Seattle's Central District. There has been an arrest made. Tell us more.
So after that arrest, he went to court on Saturday afternoon. King County prosecutors were there and said, hey, we're anticipating getting this case by Wednesday from Seattle Police, and we'd like him held on a high bail. The court set bail at $150,000 and found probable cause for the arrest for felony assault. We anticipate getting that probably by the early afternoon Wednesday for a charging decision, and should know more when we get that.
Is it pretty standard to have charges, or rather the prosecutors, in front of a judge so quickly after the arrest?
It is, yeah. When you have a violent crime like that, even property crimes, the first business day after the arrest is when prosecutors go to court. The key is a pretty tight timeline for police to get that information to prosecutors statewide within 3 days to be able to file those charges. So it's a tough deadline, but we routinely see it happen.
Casey, in court this morning, we have a woman charged with organized retail theft for a case out of Lake Forest Park. Tell us more.
Yeah, this happened at the Ross, which used to be the Lamonts there over in the complex at Lake Forest Park. She's accused of taking more than 40 items, stuffing them into a laundry hamper, and there was an employee there at the Ross who saw that and said, hey, don't do that. There was a little bit of a confrontation there. She fled, according to police, and the key there was that an employee from Ross called right away, and so Lake Forest Park police were able to respond right away, arrest her and an accomplice, an alleged accomplice, in a Volkswagen there. He's pleaded guilty to unlawful possession of a firearm. She's in court now charged with organized retail theft. It's just one of those crimes that you see far too often, where people grab a whole cart full, or, in this case, laundry hamper full of stuff and leave. And it's like, what's being done about that? And this case hasn't made the news before, but it's important for folks to know that these cases are being charged.
And as felonies, these aren't misdemeanors. So somebody could face some significant jail time if they were convicted.
Yeah. So this one's a felony. If it's, if it reaches the felony level, we can charge it that way. If it happens multiple times, if the value of the loss is significant, the frustrating part is it is still a misdemeanor if it's, just a few items. And so it's not perfect, but the message is, hey, don't do this.
Also in court, we have another woman charged with robbery in the first degree for something that happened in the Chinatown International District. What's the story here?
Yeah, pretty scary case. This happened by the Wajimaya there. There was a woman who was in the CID, was hit in the face, and the defendant allegedly used a taser on her neck. Fortunately, there was a 911 call, and Seattle police responded right away. She's now charged with felony assault and is in court this morning to enter an initial plea.
I'm looking at this story out of North Seattle. Let me read about this residential burglary from the charging documents. It says the victim and his wife were asleep in their bedroom when the defendant entered the residence using a door that leads into their bedroom. The victim reported the defendant entered the bedroom through his door using a flashlight to look around the room. They then are talking about security camera footage showing the guy was there at 4 a.m, then returned at 10 at night, forces open a door using a tool. And when they entered the victim's bedroom, the defendant fled after the victim yelled at him. The defendant was then apprehended by police shortly after the victim called 911. So here we have a burglar, tries to break in the morning, then comes back at night and goes right into their bedroom. That is frightening.
Absolutely. I mean, that really sounds like a horror movie, doesn't it? It's just and I'm not sure that there's a whole lot that folks can do other than try to make sure that your doors and windows are locked, try to keep yourself safe, and know that Seattle police are going to respond right away, or police anywhere, and that King County prosecutors are going to follow through just like they did in this case, and the defendant's charged with residential burglary in court this morning.
Casey, it's Monday. We could all use a little good news, don't you think, to start the week?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we have some involving a dog named Buddy.
Yeah. Remember last week when we were talking about that dog that was stolen from South Seattle and hadn't been seen for months and nobody knew where it was? Well, last week there was a tip and Tacoma police found the dog. And it went to the Tacoma Humane Society, and late last week it was reunited with its owner. And so Buddy's now safe at home and all is well. And that's the story ended about as well as it could have.
The case of the purloined pooch has a happy ending.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
Casey McNerney, King County Prosecutor's Office. Casey, thanks for your time this morning.
You bet. It's great to see you both, as always.
Coming up, we'll have national headlines. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
DC politicians want to enact harmful credit card mandates that could take away your cash back and rewards points. Perks that stretch your budget and make life a little easier. Losing these benefits means less money for your family's everyday essentials like gas and groceries. The perks you rely on could disappear, leaving you with higher costs and fewer options. Tell Congress to guard your card and oppose the Durbin-Marshall credit card mandates.
Paid for by Electronic Payments Coalition.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
What a good move I made. Let me tell you a quick story. I've done a whole bunch of races and a bunch of other stuff like that, and my left hip started bothering me about 5 years ago. And I go to the doctor, and he's like, you need a hip replacement. I was like, I'm 60. Yeah, we're going to ask you to wait a little while because we don't want you to wear the hip out. We want you and the hip to go into the grave at the same time. I said, what do you do about all this pain? Well, you could, aspirin, and you could continue to do this and that and, sleep with a pillow between your legs. I was like, no, I don't want to do this. Then I was talking to Bob Stelton over there at the sports department. So he went to Dr. Mark Wagner, and I think he had his hip done as well. So I go in there. I said to Dr. Wagner, can you fix my hip? Takes a look at the MRI. Yes. So I got the stem cell procedure. I'm telling you something. This is the best. If you've been thinking about, surgery for your knee, or your wrist, your shoulder, or hip. No. Check out Dr. Mark Wagner and go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership and has the state's largest selection. Get the 2025 Crosstrek at 1.9% financing for 72 months. And during the Share the Love event, Subaru donates $250 for every new Subaru purchase to one of 6 charities, including hometown favorite Paws. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized costs. See dealer for details. Valid through 11/30/25.
CBS News Brief. The 41-day-old government shutdown could be a step closer to ending. The Senate voted last night on a bill to fund operations. Democrat John Fetterman among the yeas, telling Fox.
It's the country over the party on this. I can't ever support that kind of tactic to hold our government as a hostage.
The House could vote on the bill as soon as tomorrow. It's expected to take airport operations a while to recover, even if after the shutdown ends. Union head Nick Daniels defends sick-outs among air traffic controllers.
They must focus on child care instead of traffic flows. Food for their families instead of runway separation.
Families of Camp Mystic flood victims are suing the owners. KHOU TV's Jeremy Rogalski.
The lawsuit alleges Camp Mystics owners ignored warnings in the early morning hours of that tragic day. As waters rose and counselors begged for help, the lawsuit alleges the camp told them to, quote, stay put.
CBS News Brief, I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
For your KIRO News Radio forecast, it's chilly and foggy this morning. It will be dry this afternoon with highs in the low 50s. Right now, it's about 46 in downtown Seattle. Coming up, Wikipedia founder Jimmy Wales on keeping the trust of internet users. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Wikipedia, and he's the author of a new book called And we're happy to welcome to the show Jimmy Wales. Jimmy is the founder of Wikipedia, and he's the author of a new book called The 7 Rules of Trust. Basically, the takeaway from this book is that if you cannot be trusted, everything else you try to do will not work. Jimmy, thank you for being here today on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
Tell us a little bit about the book. Why'd you write it?
Yeah, I mean, I wrote the book because, in the last 20 years, we've seen this enormous drop in trust in journalism, trust in politics, trust in business, to some extent, trust in each other. And that's a real tragedy. And in the meantime, Wikipedia has gone from being kind of a joke to one of the few things people trust. And by that, I don't mean we're perfect. We've got a lot of work to do, always. But people do get, it's a community, we're trying hard to get it right. And I just thought, you know what, there's some actual lessons I've learned along the way that I think might be useful to other organizations, other people in thinking about trust. But also, I just want trust to be on the agenda. I think we need to insist on trustworthy politicians and trustworthy journalism and trustworthy businesses and all of that around us because, prosperity and a functioning society really depends on having that trustworthiness all around us.
When you say it started as a joke, what did you think it would become back then? Did you have any idea?
Well, I didn't mean that I meant it as a joke, but it started out, people thought it was a joke or they didn't really believe in the idea. But the vision for Wikipedia was always to figure out a way to make a free encyclopedia for everyone on the planet in their own language. And, using the internet as an open tool for people to come together and collaborate. And, today we're in over 300 languages in just about every country of the world, except North Korea. I think almost nobody's on the internet in North Korea, but, it's an amazing journey that I've been on and meeting so many amazing people all around the world to create Wikipedia as it is today.
And it started with something that it wasn't necessarily trusted by a lot of people. You know, here is an open source sort of thing. But by 2005, you write in the book, it was compared to Encyclopedia Britannica, and it was found to be just as accurate. How did you get there?
I mean, almost as accurate. That's what I'm always, it's like we were a little worse than Britannica. But what I loved about that incident was when the community saw this study that was done, they came to me and said, can you ask the journalists who did this to give us the list of mistakes they found, because they wanted to fix it. And I was like, that's the right spirit, I mean, I think the main thing was having rule number 3, purpose. The idea of Wikipedia is an encyclopedia, that we want it to be high quality, we want to be neutral, we want to, have good quality references. That helped us to organize the community in a way that, a lot of projects online like social media doesn't really have that clear sense of purpose, which makes it really hard to sort of figure out about community moderation issues and things like that. But for us, it's always been about that. Like, we're making an encyclopedia. Let's keep it really simple, keep the purpose clear. And that's really helped us to navigate over the years.
And keep it free. You've never run ads on Wikipedia. How do you do that?
Well, so we're a charity, we're a nonprofit organization, and the vast majority of the money to support Wikipedia is from the small donors. We think that's really important. We're not dependent on government funding from any governments around the world, and that's important for our independence, obviously. We're also not dependent on a handful of billionaires or philanthropic foundations or whatever. They do support some, and we appreciate that. I'm not saying that's bad, but it really is important that we are, it's the people who see the banner once a year and go, yeah, you know what, I use it all the time, I should probably chip in.
You've mentioned a couple times, I've noticed throughout this interview already, that you have some caveats, and you're attempting to be as transparent as you would hope a lot of journalists would be. So maybe just talk to me. You talk about transparency in the book. Why is it so important to be transparent?
Yeah, I mean, transparency. Without transparency, people have to blindly trust you. And if you really want to build trust, the more they can see what you're doing, then the better. And that's true in all kinds of businesses. It's true in journalism, for example. I think we're well past the era when you could just say, oh, well, you don't really have to give all the details because you're the New York Times and everybody will trust you. It's like, well, no, people aren't necessarily that trusting anymore. So you need to show your work, and you need to be more transparent, and, and even to be willing to express a little uncertainty on certain stories, that voice of God type of journalism. People kind of see through that now, and they're like, well, probably this is complicated, and probably you need to be a little more upfront about that.
Is Wikipedia what it's going to be? Are you happy? And is there any plan for the future for it?
I mean, broadly, we're not going to turn into TikTok or anything like that. We like the site as it is. I mean, there's so much work to do. So obviously, a lot of the change going forward in the future won't be noticeable to most of us, because it'll be the growth of Wikipedia in Swahili language, and we won't see that, but it's an amazing thing to think about. Everybody in the world can get access to knowledge. Other things, we focus a lot. I'm heading an internal group looking at neutrality. It's a very strong policy of Wikipedia, but we know there are cases where we're not living up to neutrality, and we need to do better. And so trying to figure out, okay, well, what's going wrong here? How do we fix that?
That speaks to Elon Musk. He has come up with Grokpedia. I'm sure you've seen it. And his takeaway, at least his claim, is that somehow Wikipedia is, he calls it propaganda, I think. That seemed like a rather strong assertion. So I'm curious what you thought about it when he said that, and what you think of Grokpedia.
Yeah, so, well, I've been busy on my book tour this week, so I've had a chance to look at it a little bit, but I haven't really had a chance to really dig in. I'm pretty, I'm intrigued. I mean, let's have a look, but I know, he's using large language models to create it. And the problem with large language models is they do hallucinate, which means they make stuff up. And that's particularly true the more obscure the topic. And an encyclopedia does cover very obscure topics. And so I'm a little skeptical that you can get very far doing that, but he'll have a try. And then the other thing is, he talks a lot about trying to be more neutral than Wikipedia. And I'm like, okay, great. Like, let's see that. But so far, a lot of the examples, it's like, well, neutral doesn't actually mean agrees with Elon Musk necessarily. And so I do question whether he's got the right idea of what neutrality really is.
Jimmy Wales, Wikipedia, 7 Rules of Trust. Thanks for joining us on Seattle's Morning News.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Pleasure to meet you. Thank you.
Some headlines this morning. Will today be the day for the Mariners skipper Dan Wilson? He's one of 3 finalists for Major League Baseball's American League Manager Year of the Award. Wilson led Seattle to its first division title since 2001. Players say his calm approach and competitive edge set the tone. The winners will be announced this afternoon at 4 o'clock on the MLB Network. The Veterans Day flag placement ceremony at the Tahoma National Cemetery is canceled this year. King TV reports the government shutdown forced the cemetery to furlough staff. The Tahoma School District says its annual 8th grade service project was called off. And now to your forecast. It's chilly and foggy this morning. It'll be dry this afternoon with highs in the low 50s. Right now, it's about 46 in downtown Seattle. Coming up, more of the day's top stories here on Seattle's Morning News. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
And here is lefty Lenny Wilkins.
Remembering the legendary Lenny Wilkins.
Lenny Wilkins first suited up for the Sonics in 1968.
Head coach of Seattle's first champion.
And the Supersonics win their first ever NBA championship.
Icon in the community.
We're a better community when we take time to recognize one another.
Thanks, Coach. From a grateful city and KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Today is Veterans Day, and I want to say thank you to every man and woman who has ever worn the uniform of the United States military. Thank you for serving our country and keeping us free. Hi, I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. We are the VA loan experts, so we work with veterans every day, and we have a lot of love and respect for the people who put their lives on the line to keep our families and loved ones safe. Veterans and active duty military personnel sacrifice time away from their families so that the rest of us can enjoy living in the greatest country in the world with our families. Today, on Veterans Day, please take time to say thank you to any veteran, member of the military, or members of their family that you happen to know or may meet on the street. Veterans Day is only one day on the calendar, but at Best Mortgage, we honor veterans every day. Our continued freedom and way of life depends on the men and women in uniform, and we want you to know we've got your back. Happy Veterans Day from all of us at Best Mortgage.
Looking for even more Seahawks content? Then you gotta check out The Reset. Hey, it's G. Scott, and every week, me and my co-host and Seahawks great Brandon Meebane talk Seahawks. We break down the matchups, and we're joined by former Seahawks players
from Lakewood to Lombardi.
Seahawks champion, my main man, Jermaine Kearse.
What up, G?
Watch The Reset live on YouTube or subscribe on the Seattle Sports app.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Care Partners Senior Living is growing. Amanda here. We are very excited to introduce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, and North Creek Bothell, bringing compassionate, quality care at an affordable price, closer to more of you. Visit carepartnersliving.com today.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A bill to end the government shutdown is finally headed to the House after 7 Democrats and an independent crossed party lines to vote in favor. Among them, Pennsylvania's John Fetterman. He tells CBS Mornings,
I want to make health care more affordable for Obamacare, but I also think that our government should never be held as a hostage, whether it's a Republican or whether it's a Democrat. It's always wrong.
Correspondent Nicole Killian is on Capitol Hill.
President Trump said the bill is a good deal and he'll abide by it. He also said he's talking with Republicans about a potential health care fix, but hasn't offered many details. The Senate is expected to take up that issue next month.
The House could vote on ending the shutdown as soon as tomorrow, and it's still a mess at U.S. airports. Until the shutdown is officially over, it's expected to get worse. Correspondent Chris Van Cleve is at the airport in Phoenix.
Millions of people are still flying. Last night we counted at least 18 FAA facilities reporting staffing shortfalls. So the staffing woes continue. Cancellations and delays remain high, but they were better than Sunday, the worst travel day of this shutdown for flyers.
6% of flights at 40 of the busiest airports will be cut today, and that number goes up to 10% by Friday. The BBC has until Friday to respond to President Trump's threat of $1 billion lawsuit.
The BBC doesn't dispute that a soundbite in a documentary on the storming of the Capitol was edited in a way that seemed to have President Trump explicitly inciting violence. So why did it take months to acknowledge and apologize?
Now, in hindsight,
BBC Chairman Samir Shah.
It would have been better to have acted earlier.
Profound understatement.
But we didn't.
And that could prove to be one of a number of costly mistakes. BBC lawyers now feverishly working on a response to Trump's threatened lawsuit. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
People in the southeast are digging out their winter coats. Meteorologist Craig Allen.
There is a cold weather advisory in effect. This includes even southern portions of Alabama, south and southeast sections of Georgia, and even along the coastline. And in Florida, the cold weather advisory includes cities like Jacksonville, Gainesville, all the way through Tampa, down beyond Orlando.
They're still cleaning up after a severe snowstorm in the Great Lakes region. Parts of northern Indiana got more than a foot. The Mega Millions jackpot is soaring. Tonight's jackpot has swelled to $900 million. That's the highest, that's the eighth, largest ever. The current record, $1.6 billion, was in August of 2023. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive. See why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
It's 6:03. Let's check in with Sully for traffic on the 3s.
And we're collectively having a very good time today as we work our way in the early morning hours at 6 o'clock. Veterans Day, so I'm expecting a very lighter than normal day. Where we don't have that is where northbound 167, right there through the Pacific area. Got a little bit of a delay there, but overall 45 minutes from Puyallup to Renton. Not too bad. It's only 15 minutes out of Auburn, and then Renton to Bellevue is only 15 as well. You're not going to touch the brakes from Olympia to Seattle at this point. point. It looks like an early morning weekend at this point. 30 minutes to Tacoma, only 35 from Federal Way to Seattle. Coming down from the north end, we're looking really good at this point. We've got about 35 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. The lake bridges are quiet, so let's try to keep it going. This report brought to you by the KIRO Radio Rundown. Text newsletter to 888-973-5476. Subscribe and get the daily KIRO News Radio Rundown. Latest news, updates from your favorite shows right to your inbox.
Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 6:04. She was 7 points behind on election night. Now, Seattle mayoral candidate Katie Wilson is in the lead, surpassing incumbent Bruce Harrell.
If the voting trends continue, she could increase that lead later today. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with a closer look.
Yeah, she now leads by just 91 votes. It is really close, but Wilson celebrated taking that lead last night.
Yeah, I'm in a bar having a drink.
And right after Monday's numbers came in, she told John Curley, I think we got this one.
It's been rough, the tension, just waiting for the next ballot drop. But I think with today's drop, I'm feeling real good.
The latest ballot returns follow the trend we've been seeing in Seattle over the years. Later votes always go to the candidate on the far left. In this case, Wilson is the progressive candidate. Well, yesterday, right here in Seattle's Morning News, Republican strategist Randy Pepple reiterated his prediction.
I still do think that Katie Wilson's going to emerge the victor. I think right now the question is whether it's going to be a recount.
If this race ended right now, there would be a mandatory recount, really too close to call. Recounts happen in King County if the difference between the candidates is less than 2,000 votes and less than a half percentage point. Again, 91 votes separate the two right now. Charlie, I think you did the math yesterday. We're looking at a difference, percentage of 0.04, 03, 04?
It's very small. I don't have it in front of me, but yeah, very tight, tightest ever, at least for now in Seattle history.
Absolutely. Harrell's campaign said in a statement, by the way, they are working to make sure every single vote is counted. The next ballot drop happens today at 4 p.m.
All right. Thank you, Luke. King County Executive-elect Gurmai Zahalai is hitting the ground running by putting his own boots on the ground.
He wants to learn firsthand what the county needs and how he can deliver on those needs.
Spending the night shift in our King County jails, riding the metro buses. You will find me in our public health clinics, learning the issues that you are experiencing every day.
Zahalai is the first immigrant and first refugee to be elected King County executive. He officially takes office November 25th.
A Supreme Court case out of Mississippi could shake up how Washington counts ballots. The Washington State Standard says the justices will hear a challenge to counting mail-in ballots received after Election Day. Now, Washington State allows ballots postmarked by Election Day to be counted for up to 21 days. Washington Attorney General Nick Brown filed a brief urging the court to protect that system. He says the case could impact military families and voters overseas. A ruling from the Supreme Court expected by the middle of next year.
Keeping you informed since 1974.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Well, good morning. It is Tuesday, November 11th. It is Veterans Day, a day to honor those who have served.
Well, I am your host, Charlie Harger. You are Manda Factor, and we're here. It's kind of chilly this morning.
It's freezing.
Yeah.
This time of year, it doesn't take much to feel really cold, right? I'm getting used to it.
Sully, you are predicting a Tuesday light?
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's Veterans Day today. A lot of people have the day off. And so far, not a lot of action on the road. Okay. So let's try to keep it that way.
All right. Producer David Burbank is in the studio with us. Katrina Gashard is out at the news desk following the big stories of the day. And we have Brady Robick filling in for Nick Krasha at the control room board today.
And this hour of Seattle's Morning News is sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control.
And coming up, News Nation correspondent Tom Dempsey has the details on the funding measure passed through the Senate this week as we get closer and closer to the reopening of the government.
Also, New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold will explain why the largest environmental organization in the U.S. has been losing support rapidly over the last 5 years.
It's 6:08. A woman is in jail after neighbors reported her lighting things on fire and throwing them into yards Sunday in Spanaway.
Deputies say they caught the 33-year-old in a backyard with a lighter and an M80 type explosive. Her arrest was recorded by a deputy's body camera.
What did I do? You're setting stuff on fire. Anything on fire.
That's the other two dudes and girls down there. I swear to God, I didn't.
Come over here. Come over here.
Okay. He keeps trying to tell me I set something on fire when I didn't.
She faces 2 counts of second-degree reckless burning. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
We're learning more about what led to a shooting outside a Metro bus on Friday. In court documents, Seattle police say the man was shot after telling another rider to stop smoking fentanyl. KIRO 7 reports it happened near 3rd and Pike in downtown Seattle. The victim had just gotten off the bus when the suspect followed and opened fire. He was hit in the leg and taken to Harborview. Police say the shooter ran off and has not been found. The bus driver told officers the 2 men had argued earlier on board.
We're now learning more about what led to an hours-long police standoff over the weekend. An 83-year-old man was killed inside a Seattle group home after calling 911 for help. KOMO TV reports William Wallace told dispatchers his roommate had threatened him with a knife. Police say Wallace and the suspect were living in a mental health group home near Aurora Avenue. When officers arrived, they found Wallace stabbed to death upstairs. The 51-year-old suspect was arrested after a 5-hour SWAT standoff. Police say he told them he wasn't taking his medication for schizoaffective disorder.
A 17-year-old boy is in the hospital after being stabbed in Linwood Sunday afternoon. Snohomish County Sheriff's Office says the teen was lured outside and attacked by someone he knew. An 18-year-old man and a 19-year-old woman are now in custody, both facing assault charges.
A former Pierce County Sheriff's major appeared in court yesterday facing 2 counts of vehicular assault DUI. This was for a crash in Graham. Prosecutors say Chad Dickerson hit an SUV with a family of 6 in July. KIRO 7 was in court as Dickerson's attorney spoke for him.
Mr. Dickerson has already completed an alcohol evaluation. He was determined to have no significant problem with alcohol. He's already attended the DUI victim impact panel.
Dickerson pleaded not guilty to both counts. His next court date is in December. A jury trial set for January.
Deputies are looking for 2 people who stole an excavator and trailer in the Puyallup area Friday morning. Surveillance video shows them cutting a fence near 112th Street East and 66th Avenue East, hooking up the trailer and driving off in a pickup. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers. Tips leading to their arrest and charges could earn you $1,000. You can see that surveillance video at mynorthwest.com.
The man who died after crashing his motorcycle into the Welcome to Lakewood sign has been identified. Deputies say it happened November 4th during a police chase. The medical examiner identified him as 34-year-old Marvin Oliva Medina of Seattle. The News Tribune reports deputies tried to stop him because of domestic violence charges. They say he made threats earlier and was riding a stolen motorcycle. He died at the scene. A female passenger was taken to the hospital, and her condition right now is not known.
We mentioned it is Veterans Day, and the Veterans Day flag placement at Tahoma National Cemetery is canceled this year. King TV reports the government shutdown forced the cemetery to furlough staff. The Tahoma School District says its annual 8th grade service project was called off. Students usually place more than 50,000 flags to honor veterans. The district says it hopes to plan an alternative tribute in the spring.
If you plan on riding the ferry later this morning, it could coincide with a fleet-wide horn salute. At 11:11, all vessels underway will sound their horns in honor of Veterans Day. Flags will also be displayed, including the POW MIA flag and one of the nation's 6 military branches. Many veterans work for Washington State Ferry, serving on boats, terminals, warehouses, and headquarters.
It's now 6:12 and time for a check on the weather. It's brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. KIRO 7 TV's Nick Allard is with us. Will it be dry for Veterans Day, Nick?
It will. It is chilly out there this morning, so we have colder conditions this morning. It's funny. This time yesterday morning, it was 20 degrees warmer, and then the day before that, it was 20 degrees cooler. So we've gone up and down, up and down, up and down for the first couple days this week. And because of that, since it is cooler this morning, it is a little foggy. We're seeing that fog expand right now, say around Bremerton, Olympia, Shelton, Chehalis, and there is some in Tacoma, closer to the Narrows, and there is some in Snohomish County, say like Stevens, Marysville. Bottom line, though, is that fog we have this morning will just be around for the morning, and then I think we see sun breaks because you are going to see increasing clouds. So we're going to go with partly to mostly cloudy conditions later today. Not widespread sunshine, but it does look dry, which I am all about. So we will look for some partly cloudy to mostly cloudy conditions. It looks dry. Highs are going to be in the mid-50s today. Tomorrow we should see a couple of showers early, but most of your rain's going to hold off until late, and then we have rain, tomorrow evening all the way through Thursday. It'll be a little blustery, and maybe a small break early Friday, but that's it. Otherwise, we just stay wet through the weekend. So enjoy today while you can, because yes, you do get some sun in breaks at least, which is nice, and it does look dry.
All right, we'll take it. Thank you. Right now it's cloudy and 45 in Seattle.
At 6:13, let's check in with Chris Sullivan for traffic.
It is super quiet out there on this Veterans Day. The one spot that we don't have that going on in full effect is on northbound 167. We have the brake lights through Pacific where we lose the lane, but after that, it's really not too bad of a drive up the Valley Freeway. It's only 45 minutes total to make that corridor. And then Renton to Bellevue, we've got about a 15-minute trip at this point. Really not going to be hitting the brakes at all, even through the S-curves. Northbound I-5, Olympia to Tacoma, freeway speed the whole way. Got about a 30-minute trip there. Nothing in Tacoma, and Federal Way to Seattle's running right around 35 minutes. Coming down from the north end, 35 minutes or less from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. The lake bridges are quiet, but just a reminder, even though it's super quiet out there, we do have a lot of truck drivers out there doing their thing. They don't generally get this day off. Guys like Trucker Joe from Graham, let me know he's out there on the road this morning. Give them a wide berth on this Veterans Day. This traffic report is brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. You can learn more at globalcu.org.
It's now 6:15. Starbucks wants to make the holiday season slightly more bearable. KIRO Newsradio's Katrina Gishard is here to explain.
Amid the frenzy around their barista cup,
I will fight you for it,
which saw fans clamoring to get those sold-out glass cups.
We only have one. Oh,
the coffee chain is now offering a new collaboration it says customers can get really excited about. Starbucks is partnering with fashion line Roller Rabbit to bring their vibrant pattern looks to a new holiday merchandise collection. The cups are set to be released on December 2nd, with more details to be shared closer to the launch date.
Will they have more than 2 in stock?
Let us hope.
I don't know Roller Rabbit. Should I know what Roller Rabbit is?
Oh, everybody knows what Roller Rabbit is.
Oh.
Sully and I does. Yeah, we love it.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, you know that one thing they have?
Oh, well, yeah, that's the best.
Yeah.
But it's the other things that I really enjoy.
Basically, the entire Roller Rabbit line of merchandise I'm in.
Oh, I'm seeing pajamas now that I'm on their website.
Duh.
It's like comfy clothing.
That's what we were saying.
That's exactly what we were talking about.
That thing.
And the ones with tires on them.
This
are
is
really
Seattle's
great.
morning news. So for your Tuesday, it's 6:16.
Thanks for joining us. We are inching closer to the end of the longest government shutdown in U.S. history as a Republican-led funding measure was passed through the Senate this week, speeding to the House today before heading to the president's desk.
Let's bring in News Nation correspondent Tom Dempsey. Good morning, Tom. Do we know everything included in this specific funding measure?
Yeah, good morning, guys. I'm actually at the White House right now here on Veterans Day. So to dive into this is now in the hands of the House on whether or not this government shutdown will end. To answer your question, so a part of this bill that's going to be voted on in the House as soon as tomorrow afternoon. Basically what this does is it extends current government spending levels until January of next year. So lawmakers will have a little bit more time to negotiate, government spending levels. Also worth noting, too, that it reverses some layoffs that happened in the federal government during the government shutdown, and it has some language in there protecting against more mass firings within the federal government moving forward. And also worth noting, too, for any of the veterans out there or people might depend on SNAP, this plan also extends funding for SNAP and veterans benefits for until the end of September of next year. But, yeah, so it's going to be in the hands of the House now. And it's not necessarily over the finish line yet, but clearly it crossed a big hurdle when it got approved in the Senate just yesterday, guys.
What do we know about the Democratic senators who broke rank to help vote for this bill?
Yeah, so, a lot of them were talking about just the personal impacts they were hearing from Americans. People like, who depend on food assistance, who are dealing with all sorts of uncertainty with things like SNAP, air traffic controllers working without pay, people, regular people who weren't necessarily seeing impacts of the shutdown, but now they're seeing things like flight delays and flight cancellations. So I think the pressure of all that finally built up for them. 7 Democrats, one senator who caucuses with them, crossed the aisle and helped get this over the finish line. But that's really not sitting well with some, Democrat supporters and people, voicing outrage with Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer saying he didn't do enough to rein in those votes that crossed the aisle. So some Democrats very frustrated because a big part of this was the Affordable Care Act subsidies that are expiring at the end of the year. Democrats made that a huge focus of these shutdown negotiations because they want to see those subsidies extended. This plan that crossed the finish line in the Senate has no specific language to extend those government subsidies. Instead, Senate Majority Leader John Thune, a Republican, has promised a vote before the end of the year. But again, this is now in the hands of the House now. And House Speaker Mike Johnson hasn't promised anything in regards to that. So, again, it still faces some uncertainty, and that's why we're seeing some of the outrage, at least from Democrats, on this.
So they've promised a vote on it in the future. What does that mean for healthcare premiums right now in the meantime?
Well, right now, there's been some stats coming out. I believe it's KFF, which is a health research organization, has shown, I believe it was like 26% increases in premiums for Americans across the country. So as of now, it looks like things are going to be a little bit more expensive when it comes to health care. But Democrats are keeping up the fight. They want to see these Affordable Care Act subsidies extended. But again, there's just some uncertainty right now, and that's kind of leading to this frustration from Democrats over, what the heck's going to happen with those subsidies? Are we going to get a vote? And even if we do get a vote, is it going to pass? There's just a lot of uncertainty on that issue right now.
So the bill to keep the government open is headed to the House. Are we expecting any struggle there?
Here's the thing. Republicans have a 2-vote margin in that. And, we may potentially see some Republicans say, this doesn't do it for me. Some Republicans have voiced support for, health care subsidies and extending those Affordable Care Act subsidies. People like Marjorie Taylor Greene, keep an eye out for her and how she votes on all this if she votes against it. Tom Massey, another one from Kentucky, he's always raising concerns about budget and keeping, government spending levels, maybe making more cuts to that. So he's going to be another key vote to watch. But some Democrats also might cross the aisle again and vote in support of it. And I don't want to confuse listeners too much, but again, this is not necessarily, a done deal at this point. This vote that could happen as soon as tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be interesting to watch to see who crosses what aisles and then to see if it gets enough support to fully cross the finish line and then get to the White House for President Trump's signature to end the shutdown.
Let's talk about travel, Tom. Airlines expected to cancel 6% of their flights today. How soon after the end of the shutdown will things get back to normal?
My guess is it would take some time, but, obviously this would restore funding. It would make sure that air traffic controllers can get paid. And no one wants to see things like, the Thanksgiving travel period be disrupted with cancellations or delays. I'm one of them. I have plans to go to Jacksonville for Thanksgiving. I don't want to be delayed. And I know everyone out there doesn't want to be delayed either. So I think the focus will be on making sure air traffic controllers get paid and that they can get fully back up, at least closer to being fully staffed soon after this gets signed by the president.
Assuming tomorrow this goes through the House without any big sticking point and the Senate, of course, passing it, what is the timeline for this getting to the president's desk and for money to be flowing again to these people who so desperately need it?
Yeah, pretty fast. Obviously no one wants this shutdown. Well, President Trump does not want this shutdown to last any longer. So, as soon as it passes in Congress, it's just pretty much a ceremonial thing for President Trump's signature. And so I would assume that, he wants to get the government back up and running fast. All these stories coming in of people being impacted and, the air traffic controllers not getting paid in particular. That's something President Trump has voiced concerns about. So I would assume pretty fast to try to get that funding back up and running because, we're seeing some of these firsthand impacts with flights being delayed and canceled. And, no one wants to see that continue.
Tom, we're just about out of time, but I do want to ask you, one of our major traditions here in the Seattle area has been canceled for Veterans Day because of the shutdown. You're in the nation's capital, are you seeing cancellations of Veterans Day events there?
I cannot personally attest to that. I'm at the White House right now, and about an hour or so from now, President Trump is going to leave here for Arlington National Cemetery, and he will be taking part in a wreath laying ceremony, a long tradition to commemorate this day in America. But we have heard about protests happening in some American cities. with the veterans putting that on, speaking out against, some of the concerns that they have right now about, things like benefits and getting the care that they need. But as far as cancellations here in D.C., I have not personally seen one, and the big one we're obviously tracking is the one at Arlington National Cemetery today.
All right. News Nation's Tom Dempsey joining us from the nation's capital. Tom, thanks for your time this morning. It is 6:23. Let's head over to Chris Sullivan for traffic.
Still enjoying a very good day out there on this Veterans Day Tuesday. Picking up a little bit of volume here and there, but nothing really significant. The heaviest braking will be that 10 or 11-minute delay you have trying to get through Pacific on northbound 167. There through the lane restriction, but nothing out of line. 45 minutes to make the drive up to Renton's pretty good. Now we have started to see a little bit of braking through those Renton S-curves, even when it's light. People weaving and merging causes a little bit of slowing. We're still running around 16, 17 minutes to get you up into Bellevue. Olympia to Tacoma, no problems for you guys. Tacoma itself is quiet, and Federal Way to Seattle's running 35 minutes. There are a little bit of braking right past the West Seattle Bridge, but it's yellow on the map, not red. Coming down from the north end, you're not going to hit the brakes from Arlington all the way down, really, to Seattle or Bellevue. There are just a couple of hints right near Canyon Park, but overall, 35 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. That's a great day. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Download the Seattle Sports app and stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams.
We're seeing some pretty thick fog in spots this morning, but it'll be a dry day, partly cloudy and 54. Tomorrow we expect the showers to return by evening, 56. Right now in Seattle, it's cloudy and 45.
It's a showdown you don't want to miss. Sam Darnold versus his old team. The Seahawks season is in full swing, and we want to send you and 3 friends to the November 30th game. All you need to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, just need to text app to 888-973-5476, and we'll send you a link to download. You can enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, November 17th.
And coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey on a debate over who King County has been hiring to staff its jails.
Also, the opening bell report here on Seattle's Morning News.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with 0 investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
If your closets are bursting at the seams like the Curley household, it's time to call the pros at Closets by Design Seattle. Every job is completely custom. Free in-home design consultation. Right now, they're offering big savings up to 40% off, plus an additional 15% off with 18 months financing and free installation. You're getting the quality and backing of a national brand, but with friendly local Seattle service. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule your free in-home design consultation today.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Stacey Rost here from Seattle Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of. And then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, prescriptions. But imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate, noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas: waistline, face, neck, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. For your free consultation and $250 off, visit ProSculpt.com for powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men. It's ProSculpt.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Take your business to the next level in 2025 with help from WaFd Bank. WaFd Bank's business accounts and cash flow tools get you paid in hours, not weeks, so you can grow your business and meet your goals. You need a best bank. Visit WaFdBank.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from Eastlake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 6:31. King County is suing the state to keep 38 corrections officers on the job.
The officers were hired illegally under Washington law, but not under federal law based on their immigration status.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here to explain.
Yeah, this is a developing story that we're following on Seattle Red 770 AM. King County claims state law is unconstitutional in this case. It also discriminates, they say, because it limits who can work and where they can work based on their immigration status and work authorization, when federal law does not. The county also filed a motion for a preliminary injunction to basically put this issue on hold while the court figures it out. So let's dive deeper. In this case, King County's Department of Adult and Juvenile Detention hired 38 corrections officers who county officials say are fully trained and they're authorized to work here in the United States, meaning they have work visas. Federal law says nothing wrong with that. However, there's a state statute that says when it comes to corrections officers specifically, they can only be certified in our state if they're a U.S. citizen, have lawful permanent residence, like a green card, or they have DACA status, basically if their parents brought them here as a kid and they have temporary protections under the federal government. King County is asking a court to define whether or not this is a case of discrimination. If it's unlawful, they also say losing some 38 officers would be catastrophic because they've been facing chronic staffing shortages. Fewer people want to work as corrections officers these days. You know, Charlie and Amanda, this is not a case of workers being here in the U.S. illegally. It's just the opposite. That hearing on that injunction is scheduled for the 26th, the day before Thanksgiving, in King County Superior Court.
Thanks for the update, Luke. It's 6:32 now. A new ballot drop in King County called for a celebration last night for Katie Wilson, the progressive challenger for Seattle mayor.
We get the update from KIRO Newsradio's Aaron Granillo.
Wilson holds a 91-vote lead over Mayor Bruce Harrell. Still way too close to call the race, but enough to celebrate.
Yeah, I'm in a bar having a drink.
Wilson speaking to KIRO News Radio's John Curley Monday night after clawing back from an 8-point deficit.
It's been rough, the tension, just waiting for the next ballot drop. But I think with today's drop, I'm feeling real good.
6,300 ballots are still uncounted. The final tally could very well trigger a recount.
What are you drinking, by the way?
Oh, some sparkling wine. Felt that was appropriate.
Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Now, Mayor Harrell is not conceding. In a statement, his campaign says is working to ensure every vote is counted. This is important work and essential in a close race.
It's 6:33. That's time for a check on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes on the threes. And here's Chris Sullivan.
Is sparkling wine champagne? Because it's
Can
not
be,
from
but
Champagne?
not necessarily.
I don't know. I've just
Champagne is sparkling wine, but not all sparkling wine is champagne.
Because they're not from France. From
the
Champagne region.
Some comes
from Italy.
Yeah, Boone's Farm.
That takes me back. Looking at the
quiet
drive
on the
right, nothing going on really, so that allows us the time to banter. We're seeing some brake lights through Pacific, but it's not bad. 45 minutes to go from Puyallup up to Renton, and then Renton to Bellevue picking up just a little bit of braking. We've got about a 20-minute trip now to get you up into Renton. Coming down from the north end, nice and easy, 35 minutes to 40 minutes, depending on how you hit the volume in Canyon Park. We are starting to see a few more customers there. Lake bridges are quiet. Federal Way to Seattle's under 40 minutes. Olympia to Tacoma, no issues. 18 is quiet, so is 16. Lake Bridge is also in very good shape. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Looks like we are in for clear skies later this afternoon. Sun, but it'll be in the 50s. We start off kind of chilly this morning, however. Showers make a comeback starting tomorrow, and windy and rainy on Thursday. Right now in Seattle, we have partly cloudy skies. It's 45.
And it's 6:35. It's time for the opening bell report. Well, a bill to end the government shutdown finally heads to the House. The bill was approved last night in the Senate after 7 Democrats and 1 independent crossed party lines. The House could soon convene for the first time in months to vote on it. CBS News congressional correspondent Nicole Killian is on Capitol Hill.
8 members of the Democratic caucus broke ranks to support the measure, including Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman, who spoke with CBS Mornings.
I think collectively within the caucus, they realized this has to end.
The vote sparked backlash among party rank and file who were furious the deal did not include a guarantee to extend Affordable Care Act tax credits to combat spiking premiums. Some Democrats and progressive groups called on Minority Leader Chuck Schumer to resign.
Until the shutdown is officially over, travel delays will likely get worse. Air traffic controllers continue to go without pay, with many of them seeking other alternatives to make ends meet. This morning, 6% of flights at 40 of the nation's busiest airports will be cut. That number goes up to 10% by Friday. CBS News senior transportation correspondent Chris Van Cleve has more.
Millions of people are still flying. Last night we counted at least 18 FAA facilities reporting staffing shortfalls. So the staffing woes continue. Cancellations and delays remain high, but they were better than Sunday, the worst travel day of this shutdown for flyers.
Close of business Friday. That's the BBC's deadline for responding to President Trump's threat of $1 billion lawsuit.
I'm Vicky Barker in London. The BBC doesn't dispute that a soundbite in a documentary on the storming of the Capitol was edited in a way that seemed to have President Trump explicitly inciting violence. So why did it take months to acknowledge and apologize?
Now, in hindsight,
BBC Chairman Samir Shah.
It would have been better to have acted earlier.
Profound understatement.
But we didn't.
And that could prove to be one of a number of costly mistakes. BBC lawyers now feverishly working on a response to Trump's threatened lawsuit. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
The Trump administration is apparently working on a plan that would introduce the option of a 50-year mortgage, 50, in an effort to make home ownership more affordable. CBS News Money Watch correspondent Kelly O'Grady reports.
The pro is on that affordability front. It makes that monthly payment significantly lower. But the con is that it increases the interest that you pay over the life of the loan, 50 years versus that traditional 30-year loan that we're all used to. It's a lot more. And And so critics are saying you're going to build less equity up front in that term. It's going to take you longer to own your home. But proponents are saying, hey, I just want to get in the game. I want to be able to have that ownership.
Zillow is facing a new class action lawsuit in federal court in Seattle. The complaint says the company pressured agents to steer buyers to Zillow home loans. Agents who met quotas allegedly got better leads while others lost out. Plaintiffs claim that violates federal and state consumer protection laws. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, they want restitution and an end to the policy. No comment from Zillow. This comes, though, after a recent FTC complaint over rental listings with Redfin.
Everett-based Funko says its future is in jeopardy. The maker of those pop culture collectibles warns there's substantial doubt it can stay afloat over the next year without funding or a buyer. Its latest earnings report shows Funko posted a $1 million loss in the third quarter. Sales are down 20% year over year, and the company is carrying nearly $250 million in debt. Funko says rising costs and tariffs have strained growth, but insists its brand still has strong potential.
Seattle's Rad Power Bikes may shut down early next year. The e-bike company filed notice with the state on Friday. It warns of layoffs for 64 employees and the closure of 2 Ballard locations. Both the retail store and headquarters sit on Northwest 52nd Street. Rad Power says tariffs and slowing sales are hurting business. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, leaders are exploring options, including a sale or new financing.
A Kingston pizza maker just earned international recognition. King TV reports Will Grant won a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Pizza World Cup in Rome. Grant owns Sourdough Willie's in Kingston, and That's a Some Pizza on Bainbridge Island. He also runs a pizza school and has helped open 16 restaurants.
That's a Some Pizza. You added something to my to-do list. I'm going to have to go check it out.
Absolutely. It's for research.
It's 6:39. What's coming up in traffic, Sully?
Well, we're going to take a look at the slowing on northbound I-5 now that has popped up near the viaduct. We'll break it down for you coming up next.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital, Common Sense Lending.
Today is Veterans Day, and I want to say thank you to every man and woman who has ever worn the uniform of the United States military. Thank you for serving our country and keeping us free. Hi, I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. We are the VA loan experts, so we work with veterans every day, and we have a lot of love and respect for the people who put their lives on the line to keep our families and loved ones safe. Veterans and active duty military personnel sacrifice time away from their families so that the rest of us can enjoy living in the greatest country in the world with our families. Today, on Veterans Day, please take time to say thank you to any veteran, member of the military, or members of their family that you happen to know or may meet on the street. Veterans Day is only one day on the calendar, but at Best Mortgage, we honor veterans every day. Our continued freedom and way of life depends on the men and women in uniform, and we want you to know we've got your back. Happy Veterans Day from all of us at Best Mortgage.
One thing you can always count on is a change in the weather. Time to protect your home now with the help from the pros at Integrity Roofing and Construction. With years of experience in roofing and restoration, their skilled team delivers exceptional craftsmanship, whether it's a simple roof repair or a full renovation. Integrity offers free estimates, and their customer satisfaction speaks for itself. Don't wait until the next storm hits. Schedule your free estimate today. Call Integrity at 206-202-ROOF or visit online at integrityrc.com. That's integrityrc.com.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300, 206-656-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today, and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
At 6:43, Chris Sullivan has traffic on the threes for us.
And I'm looking for something, anything other than volume that might be responsible for the little bit of slowing. We have northbound I-5 working towards the Spokane Street Viaduct or the West Seattle Bridge, depending on what you want to call it. But there are brake lights there past Albro. They're not heavy, but just something to keep in mind. Overall, the Federal Way to Seattle drive is running under 40 minutes, probably closer to 38, which is pretty good. And you really don't hit the brakes at all from Olympia all the way up northbound I-5 till you get to the Michigan curve. So that's fabulous. Looking at Renton to Bellevue, we do have brake lights there through the S-curves, but 20 minutes to make the drive to Bellevue is pretty good. Behind that on the Valley Freeway, just a couple of brake lights north of Auburn up to Kent, but that's not bad. The real show there is getting through Pacific. It's still 45 minutes to go from Puyallup to Renton, which again is not a bad drive. We picked up a couple of brake lights south of Canyon Park down through Bothell. Not quite 40 minutes from Everett to Bellevue, 35 from Everett to Seattle. The lake bridges are quiet. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, we're seeing some thick fog in spots this morning. Otherwise, just a partly cloudy day. No rain in the forecast today. 54 our high. Tomorrow, look for showers in the afternoon hours. 56 the high. It looks nice until then. We'll see some sun breaks in the morning hours. But then Thursday, showers a little gusty again, and 55. A rain returns late Friday. Right now in Seattle, cloudy and 45.
6:44, a Missouri teen gave her parents quite a shock. Here's Katrina Gashard with the story.
Alrighty, Talia Lehman found a possum in her family's garage and brought it inside. She held the wild possum by its neck and walked into the living room to show her parents. And the little guy did what possums do best. The possum played dead.
I've had them get close to biting me, but they've never actually bit me.
We're like, what? And then it was just funny. I was like, let me record this because her standing at the doorway holding that possum looked so funny.
She's always loved animals, been very good with animals.
And to be clear, Talia released the possum back into the wild. And experts say if you find a possum, don't pick it up.
You hear how calm those parents sound?
I would have been freaking out.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Katrina. 6:45, and a note here for KIRO 7 News live starting at 4. It's news that puts you there so you can see for yourself. News is happening now, so you're ready. News that investigates to get you answers. News that's local because where you live matters. No more, no now on KIRO 7 News at 4, 5, and 6 p.m.
And coming up on Seattle's Morning News, New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold on the decline of the Sierra Club, once America's most prominent environmental organization.
Announcing the Royal Corgis.
What have you done?
I wired pounds to London to buy Royal Corgis.
You went to the bank to wire money for Royal Corgis?
That means yes.
You are so dumb. Banks are slow and they hide all kinds of fees and transfers.
Those mutts.
If you want to send money overseas, use Wise. It's faster and never hides fees. Oh, they're fighting, just like the real royal family.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
I love the fact that Mike Novak sells more homes than anybody else. This guy works so hard. You know what's happening? People are selling their homes again. And if you don't have Mike Novak's name on that sign, well, you're wasting your time and your house is just going to be sitting on the market. Mike is so confident that he can sell your house quickly. And for more, you'll pay no commission if Mike Novak doesn't sell that home in 21 days. So go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell Novaks for you. Novaks. Meetthenovaks.com.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
On Tuesdays, we call up New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold.
David, I wanted to ask you about a piece you did on the decline of one of the country's largest environmental organizations, the Sierra Club. What did you find?
So we looked at the Sierra Club because they're at a very low ebb now. They were a really strong opponent of President Trump in his first term. In his second term, they've lost 60% of their support. They've been in huge budget deficits. They're not spending as much money on politics. And this summer, they had a huge debacle where they had to fire their executive director. And so we went back to try to figure out, okay, well, what happened? How did they go from this position of huge strength and power in Trump's first term to this position of weakness? And what we found was that during Trump's first term, they decided that they had to broaden their mission. So before they had been focused on the environment and particularly on closing down coal-fired power plants. And that during Trump's first term, when they were full of money and had lots of volunteers, they said, it's got to be bigger. We got to fight for social justice and racial justice and trans rights and immigrant rights and gay rights. What we found was that they basically blew their coalition up by trying to make it a broad social justice organization, when they actually had donors and volunteers who just wanted to be one thing, who just wanted to deal with the environment. So there was lots of turmoil. They investigated people. People stopped giving. Members left. And they ended up a much weaker version of themselves after trying to be something much bigger and stronger. I think it's kind of a good lesson for liberal groups in the age of Trump, too. So many of them have come to his second term much weaker than they were in his first for reasons like this. They spent their last few years fighting with other liberals about what it means to be a liberal instead of just focusing on the topic that brought people together and accepting that some people who agree on the environment won't agree on everything else.
It was really interesting. Basically, when you are telling this story in a video, sounds like it's very left already, but some are saying it's not left enough, and that's what tore them apart.
That's right. And so they started to do things like, okay, well, we're going to have a language guide where we're going to tell everybody in the organization what words you can't say. And that includes things like you can't say vibrant, you can't say hardworking because those are racist tropes. You can't say Americans because some people aren't American citizens. You can't even say lame duck session because lame is offensive. And then people that sort of didn't agree with those things or didn't go along with the new position, they started to investigate them. And so you get a call from a lawyer and get interrogated because you were not, values were not aligned. So it sort of started to feed on itself.
Fascinating stuff. David, thanks for your time as always. We appreciate talking with you on Tuesdays. New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold.
Thank you.
6:50 now. A Pierce County family is suing the city of Lakewood for $28 million, claiming an illegal police chase led to a 2023 deadly crash. Court documents say officers pursued a stolen car at high speed despite department policy restricting such cases. Attorney Mark Lindquist, who's representing the Vetra family, spoke to KIRO 7 TV.
They're also looking for justice, and they want to make sure that no other families go through this.
The Lakewood Police Department says, as per our common practice, the city has no comment on this case as it is pending litigation.
SeaTac Airport remains fully operational as the Senate votes to reopen the government. SeaTac's Perry Cooper tells G and Ursula checkpoint wait times are at 8 to 13 minutes, and that's normal.
The cancellations that you're hearing and seeing about really are ones that the airlines have planned ahead, and they've done a really great job of getting a hold of travelers to say, hey, your flight's been canceled or been moved at this point, and alerting them before they get to the terminal, which is the whole goal.
Cooper praised federal employees who've worked since October without pay.
More than 500,000 Washington households are caught in limbo as the Supreme Court weighs whether to freeze food assistance during the ongoing shutdown. Food banks across the region say demand is already surging as people wait for clarity. Sean Manley, the CEO of the Puyallup Food Bank, spoke to KIRO 7 TV.
It's the uncertainty that's crushing because, again, is it going to be released? Is it not released?
A federal judge had ordered the administration to fund this month's SNAP benefits. The state quickly paid them out, but over the weekend, President Trump demanded states undo those payments.
Ruston's late-night alcohol ban is now permanent. The city council voted 4-1 last week to keep the rule in place It stops alcohol sales after midnight and forces bars to close by 1 a.m. Violators could face a misdemeanor citation. According to the News Tribune, the ordinance takes effect November 12th, replacing a temporary ban set to expire next week.
Much of Clallam County on the Olympic Peninsula is experiencing a widespread internet and phone outage. It started with a fire Sunday night.
Clallam County Fire Marshal Joel McKean says the fire started just after 6 Sunday night behind Olympic Tire on East 1st Street. Old tires burning in a dumpster, he says, quickly spread.
A nearby power pole was exposed to the heat and flames, resulting in damage to a transformer and an Astound broadband fiber line,
cutting internet and phone service. According to KNOP News Radio, Astound is working on the problem, but currently there is no estimated time for restoration. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
It's 6:53. That's time to check traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. Still light, Sully?
Oh, yeah. We're enjoying a really good day out there. Now, we have picked up a couple of brake lights here and there. If you're on southbound 405 and you're going south of Canyon Park, you are going to hit the brakes there, certainly. A lot of weaving and merging there, even on a day that is as light as it is today. But 40 minutes to make it down into Bellevue is really good. I mean, once you're past 522, it opens up and you're going to be at freeway speed the rest of the way. I-5 has just some blips right there at the Edmonds exit, maybe a little bit at 145th. Again, just some weaving and merging, but overall 38 minutes to make it to Seattle. That is a very good day. Looking at Federal Way to Seattle now, the brake lights we have are at the far north end of Boeing Field, approaching the West Seattle Bridge, but by most day standards, it's not bad. 40 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. It's about 20 minutes faster than we normally see at this time of day on a Tuesday. Valley Freeway, 45 minutes from end to end. The heaviest part there, of course, getting through the lane restrictions there as you work your way through Pacific. Then the rest of the way on up is pretty good. Rented to Bellevue is about 20 minutes. The S-curves are a little active, but not too bad. Across the lake, we're seeing a really easy drive. Olympia to Tacoma is quiet. Most of Pierce County, almost all of it, other than just that little spot in Pacific, is really good. 18 and 16 are also in very good shape. This report brought to you by the Seattle International Auto Show, where you can see them, touch them, and drive them. The Seattle International Auto Show is presented by BECU Lumen Field Events Center, November 14th to the 16th. Discover your drive. SeattleAutoShow.com.
Forecast calls for partly sunny skies this afternoon. Highs will be in the mid-50s. Rain tomorrow, and by Thursday, stormy, windy, and heavy rain at times. Highs will be in the mid-50s. Looks wet the next couple of days after that as well. Right now in Seattle, we have partly cloudy skies. It's 44.
And coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey on the tight race for Seattle Mayor. Challenger Katie Wilson polling slightly ahead for the first time. He'll have the latest ballot numbers.
And Sully, what's coming up in your choke point?
Well, we're going to take a look at slow down and move over. It's the state law, but a lot of people are kind of confused about what they're supposed to do.
That's coming up at 7:15 here on Seattle's Morning News.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
At Bank of America, we're proud that more than 20,000 veterans and people with military backgrounds have joined our ranks since 2015. Now we're committed to adding 10,000 more over the next 5 years. By helping veterans achieve their career goals, we're moving from appreciation to action, and together, helping expand economic opportunity across America. Visit bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Hey, it's Brock Hewitt here, and you got to take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It could save you a lot of money and get your family better coverage. First Mark has saved my family thousands of dollars every year. Take the First Mark Challenge. It's totally free. Just simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The Senate has passed a bill to end the government shutdown. Next up, the House.
8 Democrats crossed the aisle last night to approve the Senate plan, which does not include the health care tax credit extensions Democrats had been holding out for. Vermont Independent Senator Bernie Sanders.
What the fight was about was health care. It was a loss.
The bill funds the government through January and reverses the layoffs enacted during the shutdown. Maine Republican Senator Susan Collins.
I think this is a great victory for the American people.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
The House could hold a vote on the bill as soon as tomorrow. There are more than 2,100 flight delays and cancellations in the U.S. so far today. Debbie Moydell and her husband slept at the airport in Dallas, then took a flight to Houston just to get to Tulsa.
I'm glad we're already here because I think it's getting really bad, getting a lot worse. And we're thankful that we have made it and my luggage all showed up.
Correspondent Chris Van Cleve.
Last night, we counted at least 18 FAA facilities reporting staffing shortfalls. So the staffing woes continue.
Amid all that chaos, 18 people were injured yesterday when a vehicle carrying passengers from one terminal to another at Dulles Airport near Washington crashed as it was docking. None of the injuries life-threatening. The president will honor former military members this Veterans Day.
President Trump's expected at Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia, where he'll lay the traditional wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown and make remarks. While big annual observances like that one are going on as planned, many others are not. Due to the government shutdown, several events across the country have been disrupted because of a lack of federal employees, access to military facilities.
The ceremony at Arlington gets underway next hour. Some former military members have gone to court. Here's CBS's Jim Krasula. Iowa.
Several transgender former service members, some of whom served up to 18 years in the U.S. Air Force, are suing the military for depriving them of their retirement benefits. The lawsuit alleges the Air Force promised them pensions as they were forced out of the military, only to rescind the offer.
The end is in sight for a soccer superstar.
Suddenly, red shirts flooding back. Chance for Cristiano Ronaldo!
The 40-year-old Portuguese forward says next year's FIFA World Cup will definitely be his last. He tells CNN he's been in the game for 25 years, did everything, owns major records, and he's enjoying the moment. Ronaldo has scored 143 international goals. He's the first ever male player to score at 5 World Cups. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
7:03 on a Tuesday morning, Veterans Day. Let's check in with Sully.
And that Veterans Day drive is going to be nice and easy for you. We just have a couple of spots where we do have some brake lights, and we are looking at those on the Valley Freeway, northbound to 167 as you work your way through the Pacific area. It's about 45 minutes to get you up into Renton, and all of that braking is really right there. You're going to lose a minute or so while you're waiting for the ramp meter, but then Renton to Bellevue is about 22 minutes. We do have slowing there through the S-curves, but nothing you can't handle. Olympia to Tacoma, freeway speed, and in fact, you won't hit the brakes on northbound I-5 until you're well north of the Boeing Field area, right there at Albro. It's only 35 minutes into Tacoma, and then 40 or less to go from Federal Way to Seattle. Coming down from the north end, we're looking at 35 minutes from Everett to Seattle, about 40 from Everett to Bellevue with the brake lights there through Bothell. Across the lake, we're doing really well. So all in all, we're in good shape. This report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. Country's rising star Chase Matthew hits the Emerald Queen Casino December 7th. Don't miss your chance to see one of the country's music's boldest new voices. Only at the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning at 7:04. Seattle mayoral candidate Katie Wilson has surged ahead of incumbent Bruce Harrell. She was down by 7 points on election night.
Now she is up by 91 votes, and that lead could grow even larger in today's ballot count. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with the latest.
91 votes makes this the closest race ever for Seattle mayor. And if the long-standing tradition and trend continues, these late ballot returns we're seeing should go to Wilson and widen that lead. Well, after the latest count last night, Wilson told John Curley, I think we got this one.
It's been rough, the tension, just waiting for the next ballot drop. But I think with today's drop, I'm feeling real good.
If the race ended right now, there would be a mandatory recount. That's how close it is. Republican strategist Randy Pebble told us right here on Seattle's Morning News, it is still really too close to call.
Both campaigns are going to be out there trying to find people who voted, but their ballot isn't being counted because of a signature problem or a verification problem. Those people could end up deciding this election.
And it also leads to this question I think a lot of people have on their mind. When will we know who will be Seattle's next mayor?
Certification isn't until November 25th, so you could be waiting up until the Tuesday before Thanksgiving for the final word.
Happy Thanksgiving. We might have to wait that long. Harrell's campaign said in a statement, by the way, they are focused right now on making sure that every vote is counted. That's where we are. Going to be a lot of, I think a lot of people predict a recount, and so we're going to be going over those things with scrutiny again. The next ballot drop, by the way, to see if that gap widens between the two candidates is today at 4 p.m.
Luke, thanks for the update. Meantime, King County Executive-elect Gurmai Zahalai is hitting the ground running as he prepares to take the office over on November 25th.
KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more on what we can expect from the Zahalai administration.
At just 38 years old, Gurmai Zahalai is the youngest person ever elected King County executive. He's also the first immigrant and the first refugee to hold the office. Because of his past, Zahalai says he is sensitive to the needs of marginalized communities, but plans to serve the needs of all of King County.
Safer communities, more affordable housing, better health, and a government that earns your confidence every day.
Zahalai officially takes office November 25th. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
It's 7:06 now. Washington's vote-by-mail system could be at risk depending on a new Supreme Court case. The Washington State Standard reports the court will hear a challenge to counting ballots after Election Day. The case comes from Mississippi, but a ruling could affect Washington's 21-day postmark window. Attorney General Nick Brown and Secretary of State Steve Hobbs say the state system is legal and it's fair. They're asking the court to uphold states' rights to set their own election rules.
Keeping you informed since 1974. You're listening to Seattle's Morning News.
Where is my mind? Where is it?
I don't know, and it's only Tuesday.
Yeah.
You haven't lost it yet, have you?
Well, we're here together, though.
Yes,
so we have
indeed.
that going for us.
It's November 11th. It's Veterans Day.
And we do honor those who have served our country. I'm Charlie Harger. That's Manda Factor. Chris Sullivan is here. And Sully, you have a choke point coming up in just a few minutes, right?
Yeah, I do. Going to go over one of the laws that seems really simple on its face, but people have trouble with it. It's called slow down, move over. I think you've heard of it.
Slow down or move over?
No, that's the thing. Slow down, move over. There's nothing in the middle, no conjunction. No,
right.
Not an and?
No.
Not
it's
slow
just
down
slow
and
down.
Move over?
Oh, you know, we're stealing his thunder. You know, we want to listen.
Tell us all about it later, okay?
Well, now the story's going to be about a minute long, so you're going to have to find some content, David.
Well, it's been a busy morning here in the newsroom. We are continuing to follow this close race for mayor in Seattle, so we'll be on top of that throughout the day. That next ballot drop at 4 p.m.
Also coming up this hour, you have a commentary, Charlie.
Yeah, retail theft in our state has reached a nationally embarrassing level. It's time to address it. We'll talk about it at 7:35.
Also, CBS Justice correspondent Scott McFarland will break down the latest sports betting scandal. 2 MLB pitchers have been indicted.
It's 7:09. Airlines are expected to cancel 6% of their flights at 40 of the busiest airports in the U.S. today. More than 2,100 flights were canceled yesterday. The FAA ordered flight cuts may ultimately ramp up to 10% by Friday. One traveler explained to CBS how the process has been for her.
Up here, I think it was maybe a 2-hour delay, but I was lucky with United. I have lounge access, so I just sit back. But now going back, definitely a little bit more anxious.
And it's only a 1-minute delay.
Yes, right now 1 minute, knocking on some wood, but I'll take it for now.
As the Senate takes the first step to end the government shutdown, there is a way you can help unpaid federal workers at SeaTac Airport. Here's KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay.
Despite the shutdown, SEA's Perry Cooper says wait times at the checkpoints are fairly normal, about 8 to 13 minutes.
Kudos to all of our local TSA and FAA workers who have shown up and done their job since October 1st without getting paid.
Cooper tells Gia and Ursula you can help those unpaid workers by dropping off donations at the SEA Conference Center mezzanine between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. The airport needs non-perishable foods, toiletries like toothpaste, and they really need diapers. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Even though Congress is taking steps to reopen the government soon, the Trump administration continues to fight court orders that would require them to fully fund SNAP. Here's CBS News White House correspondent Weijia Jiang.
At this point, it seems they are staying firm. They intend to fight this out in court, but it is confusing for many of these states because we've seen so much pull and push about what they are supposed to do, because obviously they also have to take steps to make sure that they are compensated for the funds that their states are entitled to.
And we continue our coverage with KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Audley, who went to a Puyallup food bank.
Odelia Santos is disabled. She relies on SNAP to keep food on the table for her 12-year-old grandson. 2 weeks without it meant coughing up cash she saves for other bills.
Now I'm in a bind in a bit, because I don't know what to do at the end of the month.
Back and forth court rulings have left SNAP recipients in limbo. Some states, like Washington, acted quickly to start releasing full benefits last week after a court ruling allowed them to do so. The federal appeals court left that ruling in place Sunday night, but the Supreme Court has put a temporary hold on benefit payments.
A final ruling could come down today.
A beloved Veterans Day tradition won't happen at Tahoma National Cemetery today. King TV says the annual flag placement was canceled because of the government shutdown. The cemetery staff who support the event are furloughed. Tahoma students normally place tens of thousands of flags across the grounds. The school district says it's looking at other ways to honor service members later this year.
Will today be the day for Mariners skipper Dan Wilson? He's one of 3 finalists for Major League Baseball's American League Manager of the Year award. Wilson led Seattle, of course, to its first division title since 2001. Players say his calm approach and competitive edge set the tone. Winners are going to be announced this afternoon at 4 o'clock on MLB Network. Go Dan the man.
Let's go, Dan. It's 7:12. Let's get a check on the weather. It's brought to us by State Roofing and Exteriors. KIRO 7 TV's Nick Allard is here, and we're off to a chilly start.
Yeah, temperatures are anywhere from 16, 18, 20, 22 degrees cooler than yesterday morning, which was warmer than the morning before by about the same. So it's an interesting setup. But what we're looking at now is just some calm conditions and cool weather. And because of that, we have some fog. So it's pretty darn foggy, especially in the South Sound. It will stay foggy through the next couple of hours and then slowly lifting. And I think at the same time as the fog is lifting, you're also going to find some increasing clouds. So we go with some sun or some fog early, then we go with partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies this afternoon. But it does look dry. Honestly, it looks dry and looks nice with seasonal temps in the 50s. Not a big issue. Tomorrow, I think you're going to find some dry weather to start, but a few showers north of Everett, and then you'll see some showers increasing north of Everett in the afternoon. Everybody then sees rain for Thursday with a drier day Friday until Friday night, and then it's just wet all weekend. So today is the only truly completely dry day I have for the week. After that, we're just in this pattern where it is rain, rain, and rain at some point each day.
All right, I'll get out and enjoy today, Nick. Thank you.
There you go. Smart move.
Right now, clear skies, 44 in Seattle.
It's 7:13, time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes, and here's Sully.
And we are doing really well on this Veterans Day Tuesday. A couple places where we're hitting the brakes hard, but that's about it. One of them is southbound 405, south of Canyon Park, down through Bothell. Enough that the travel time has jumped up to about 45 minutes to go from Everett Town into Bellevue, which on most days is about 20 minutes faster than normal, but today it's running about 10 minutes behind total because Everett to Seattle's only running about 35 minutes, so that's really good. Looking at northbound I-5, nothing from Olympia to Tacoma, and Federal Way to Seattle's running under 40 minutes as well. The Renton S-curves are a little active, but overall not bad. We've got travel time of about 22 minutes to make it up into Bellevue. Once you're past Sunset, it's going to be a pretty easy drive. Puyallup to Renton running right around 45 minutes. The heaviest spot there is getting through Pacific. And really, that's not too bad. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Well, amid the chaos of the government shutdown, one pilot has gone viral for his suggestion. And with the story, here's KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gashard.
A Delta pilot soothed passengers' jittery nerves on a flight from Atlanta to Raleigh-Durham by reassuring them of this.
This aircraft does not move a single inch unless both my co-captain Michael and myself are absolutely certain it's safe to do so.
Then Captain Christopher Pennington put on his dad hat.
Before I left the house on this trip, my little one has learned the word ice cream, and she made me make sure I promised her to get her ice cream when I get back home from the trip. That being said, nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing unsafe comes in between me and that little girl and her ice cream.
So he encouraged flyers to use the free Wi-Fi to contact their loved ones and make plans of their own. The social media post has racked up at least more than 7 million views.
Yeah, I saw that go through a couple of my feeds, so that's just getting a lot of attention.
That's adorable.
Yeah. Thank you, Katrina. It's 7:15.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
All right, slow down, move over. It's the law in every state, but do you do it?
Sully is here with a reminder of your responsibility behind the wheel.
On its face, this law is super simple. You see flashing lights on the side of the road, you slow down, you move over. But a recent AAA survey of 12,000 drivers, they did it by asking questions and then also using camera data and data from some of their tow trucks that they have out on the roads to show what drivers are actually doing. This survey showed that there's a lot of confusion over the actual rules.
All 50 states do have some form of a slow down, move over law. They do vary state to state, though. And one of the big findings of this research study is that most drivers generally are aware, like you are, like, yeah, isn't there some kind of law? They have no idea what the law entails.
Megan West is the Chief Experience Officer for AAA of Washington. She says the survey showed about 65% of drivers either slowed down or moved over, one of the two. not both, which is actually required under the law.
People generally are picking one or the other. They're slowing down or moving over, and then about a third of individuals are just doing neither. And so really we're looking for both to maintain the maximum safety, but in some cases, one or the other is appropriate as well. We're looking for more compliance.
Washington's law requires you to drop your speed by at least 10 miles an hour over the posted speed limit and get over a lane. The fine is $214, though there is very limited enforcement. We've come to find out around this not only in Washington, but also nationwide. Originally, the law only applied to, say, emergency vehicles, but it's been expanded over the years to tow truck drivers and construction zones.
Please slow down and move over. It's as simple as that. You don't even need to worry about who. If you see flashing lights, red, amber, blue, orange, any flashing light, just adopt the behavior to slow down and move over.
Wes says AAA is also looking to extend the law to cover anyone who's over on the shoulder. Maybe somebody just like you or me, broken down. She says it's all about safety.
The one element that's not covered in our state is you, the driver. So if you're on the side of the road and no one's come to your aid yet, you're actually not part of that slow down, move over.
46 emergency responders were killed last year across the country while assisting people on the roads. It's happened for a variety of reasons, but the slow down, move over probably would have helped. Washington, of course, has had several recent fatal crashes involving tow truck drivers as well. It's a simple ask. If you've ever been stuck on the side of the road, you know how scary that is. Put yourself in that person's shoes the next time you're flying past somebody on the shoulder. It's not that difficult. Slow down, move over. Do them both if you can safely.
I don't think I can think of a simpler rule to follow.
Yeah, it is, but people just assume it's one or the other, not
Isn't
both.
that just ingrained in your brain to get out of the way?
Yeah, but then some people may not slow down. I mean, they're like, oh, I'm over a lane. I can stay at freeway speed. It's not that big a deal. But it really, yeah, it can be because, yeah, you want everybody to be safe.
I saw a texter text in. They're asking, what if you can't move over? You're either stuck in traffic, or I'm thinking now, like if you're on a bridge and there's not a shoulder, if there's not somewhere to pull over, kind of what's your best
You
bet?
can't, the guidance is move over if it's safe to do so, right? In most cases, we're talking like, you're driving down the freeway and you see somebody a mile up the road and they're flashing lights over there and you have time to get over, do that and slow down. But in certain circumstances, like if it's not safe to move or don't jam yourself over and cause another problem, do both when it is safe to do so. But in most cases on those longer ones where, people may be drowsy or may not pay attention or something, you usually have a little bit more warning to do that.
And is there a distance kind of requirement? I always wonder, because if I see flashing lights way behind me, I try to get over as quickly as possible. And then I see cars still kind of zooming past me. And I'll be honest, the petty part of me is like, why don't you guys move over too?
I believe it's 200 feet. It could be up to 500 feet in certain circumstances in different states. I can check. I've got the driver's guide at my desk.
Yeah.
For reference, it's 200 feet minimum. In some cases, it can be 3, and it could be, as I said, as high as 500. But generally, I think in our state it's 200. But I'll double check that for you.
Those tow truck drivers are among the bravest people I can think of, because here they are. They're trying to hitch up a car. They're having to walk out into the road and get you off the road into the mechanic. And meantime, these cars are just flying by, and you have to give them so much room.
And in a lot of cases, the tow truck drivers show up way late. Like, say, for instance, the emergency has already happened. The investigation is done. The police have moved on. The fire trucks have moved on. Now, 3 hours later, you're called to recover the vehicle. Right? And everything's gone, and you're the only person left as the tow truck driver. You're there by yourself. In fact, Megan West told me that AAA of Washington has adopted kind of the fire truck guidance that we've seen lately, where if they're in a situation like that, they'll bring a second truck and block a lane themselves, kind of like we see fire trucks do. That's kind of the state guidance now for AAA tow truck drivers. But yeah, that one's really scary. We had a fatal on that in southern Washington a couple years back, where it was, the emergency had long gone and the person's out there in the middle of the night, dead night, trying to just hook up the car and get it out of the way.
And Chris, just another clarification for myself, because I this is something that I'm always wondering about. So with emergency vehicles, you say slow down, move over. That means slow down, move move over to the shoulder stop allow them to pass?
This is slow down, move over is for, in this case, it's for
If
when there's
someone's on the shoulder,
someone's
and
on
you
the
see
road,
lights.
or they're on the blocking in the a lane. Also, I mean, slow down, move over does technically apply to being passed by emergency vehicles. That's covered under a different law where you're supposed to get over anyway to provide them the ease of access. But for this, it's, you've got a lane blocked, you've got the shoulder blocked, you see it coming up, get over and slow down.
Thank you, Sully. We can find more at mynorthwest.com. At 7:22 in King County, a litter of puppies was left at a Burien Fire Department. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Gary Horker.
KIRO's animal shelter tells us they were separated from their mother way too soon. They were still weaning and they needed to be bottle fed about every 2 hours around the clock. A temporary home has been set up for the 6 pups, but the shelter says they are still looking for experienced puppy fosters to take over their care.
It's just about 7:23. Let's get back to Sully now for an update on the current traffic.
And we are enjoying a very good day thanks to the Veterans Day holiday. So we're looking at a very good drive. Just a couple of places to keep in mind. If you're on southbound 405 and you're south of Canyon Park, you do have brake lights to deal with down through 522. It's about 44 minutes to get you down into Bellevue, which by most days' standards is about 20 minutes faster than normal, even with that little delay there. You compare that to the 35 minutes we're getting from Everett to Seattle. There's just nothing on the I-5 corridor southbound. Northbound's pretty much the same thing. You don't hit the brakes from Olympia to Tacoma, not through Federal Way, and then really it's just past the north end of Boeing Field. We have about a 40-minute trip from Federal Way to Seattle, and all of the braking we have there, again, is north of Boeing Field into downtown. The Renton S-curves are a little active, but 26 minutes to get you up to Bellevue is a really good travel time. Not much behind that on the Valley Freeway. There are brake lights through Pacific, but they're more than manageable. We have 45 minutes to go from Puyallup up to Renton. Lake Bridges are quiet. 18 is quiet, so is 16. So all in all, it's a pretty good day to be out there. This report brought to you by KIRO Newsradio's Rundown. Text newsletter to 888-973-5476. Subscribe to the daily KIRO News Radio Rundown and get your latest news and updates from your favorite shows right to your inbox.
And our forecast, we're going to see fog this morning. Otherwise, just a partly cloudy day and 54. Should be dry today. For tomorrow, look for a dry start to the day, but occasional showers by afternoon, warming up to 56. Looks like Thursday will be another kind of stormy day, showery and gusty in mid-50s. Right now in Seattle, partly cloudy and 44.
Coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has the debate over who King County has been hiring to staff all its jails.
And you have a commentary coming up.
Yeah, at 7:35, time to address Washington's worst in the nation rate for retail theft. We'll talk about it coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain, or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83, or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope. Included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83, or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
$83, or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
$83, or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Saluting the bravest among us, the men and women who've served our country's armed forces across the Army, Marines, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard. Your selflessness and sacrifice are why we remain the land of the free because of the brave. Happy Veterans Day from KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
All right, here's a quick confession. The reason Nick, my wife, is going to Longevity Medical Clinic is because why?
I got sick of watching you sleep at night when I was awake.
Wait a minute. Wait. Here's what would happen. I'd be asleep because I've got my hormones balanced thanks to Longevity Medical Clinic. I'm asleep, and then Nick would go, "Are you asleep? Are you sleeping? That's not fair. I can't sleep." I'm like, "So you're going to wake me up?"
Yes, because I didn't want you to have more energy than I would the next day, and I was up all night.
So what did I say to you? I said, so go to the Longevity Medical Clinic. Do the same thing I did. Get your hormones balanced. You'll sleep sleep better, right?
And I did.
Right. You don't have to wake me up anymore and go, it's not fair that you're sleeping.
I know.
But didn't you see that it wasn't fair that you were waking me up?
Yes, because now you're the one taking the dogs out because I'm still asleep in the morning.
So we're both getting good night's sleep. We're both getting lots of energy, and we're happy.
You want me to tell you why? Because my hormones are now balanced.
Okay, I don't want to hear about your hormones right now. So be like Nick and get a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
What's your holiday tradition? It's G. Scott here. For me, it's gathering with loved ones around a meal that brings joy. For many families, that tradition feels out of reach. Next time you shop at Safeway, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors. Your gift provides groceries to families across Washington, giving them access to nutritious food and the dignity to shop like the rest of us and choose what's meaningful for their holiday table. Visit nourishingneighbors.com and donate at your Safeway checkout. That's nourishingneighbors.com.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. Our local tax expert Greg Nunn wants taxpayers to know the IRS is now going after older cases very aggressively. If you received Form CP-504 from the IRS, do not ignore it. Be proactive and resolve your situation with Greg Nunn, N-U-N-N, None Better Tax Resolution.
Fall is here, school is back, and business will soon be booming with the upcoming holiday season. But you can be ready with help from WaFd Bank.
That's right, Dave. And WaFd Bank offers services like payment processing to do it, which offers your customers the option to pay their way, whether that's through kiosk, mobile, online, or contactless. You'll also have the option to get access to other services to efficiently run your business, like projection programs for income and expenses, so you can focus on what really powers your business, your customers.
Those sound like some pretty helpful tools. What about help if things don't work the way they should, Brad?
No worries there, Dave. With payment processing, all businesses get industry-leading security and personalized help from dedicated IT support, so they can get back to the important stuff. With a variety of business accounts to fit your specific needs and other services to take things to the next level, we've got the knowledge and offerings to make your business goals a reality.
Music to my ears, Brad. To learn more, visit wafdbank.com or visit your local branch. WaFd Bank, built for business. Member FDIC.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Carpoolers using the SR-167 Express toll lanes now need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having Good to Go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
The Home Comfort Alliance Warehouse Clearance Sale ends soon. Save 25 to 75% and enjoy 18 months 0% financing. Visit homecomfortalliance.com today.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 7:30. King County is suing the state of Washington, fighting to keep 38 corrections officers on the job.
They were hired legally under federal law, but not under state law because of their immigration status.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here to explain.
Yeah, this is an exclusive and developing story that we're following on Seattle Red, 770 AM. King County says state law, blocking some immigrants from working as corrections officers is unconstitutional and discriminatory. The county argues the law unfairly limits who can work and where based on their immigration status, something federal law does not do. King County has also filed for a preliminary injunction asking the court to pause enforcement of the law while the case plays out in court. At the center of this lawsuit are 38 corrections officers hired by the Department of Adult and Juvenile Detention in King County. County officials say they are fully trained and legally authorized to work in the U.S. on work visas. Under federal law, that's okay, that's allowed, but a Washington statute says corrections officers can only be certified if they are U.S. citizens, permanent residents, meaning they have a green card, or DACA recipients. Now, King County wants the county court, to decide if that restriction amounts to discrimination. Officials also warned that losing those 38 officers would be devastating, especially as jails already struggle with chronic staffing shortages. And Charlie and Amanda, this is not a case of workers being here in the U.S. illegally. That hearing, though, for an injunction is scheduled for the 26th, the day before Thanksgiving, in King County Superior Court.
All right, Luke, thanks for that update. Update on the mayor's race now. She was 7 percentage points behind on election night. Now, Seattle mayoral candidate Katie Wilson is in the lead.
We get the latest from KIRO Newsradio's Frank Lindsay.
Wilson's lead over incumbent Bruce Harrell is very, very small. She's up by 91 votes, 133,469 for her, 133,378 for him.
Those young people, man, they just wait to the last minute. And we know that young people are, by and large, strong supporters of our campaign. So we're feeling really hopeful for these last few ballot drops.
In fact, she told John Curley right after Monday's numbers came in, quote, "I think we got this one." Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
In a statement, the Harrell campaign says it's, quote, working to ensure every vote is counted. This is important work and essential in a close race. The next dump of numbers happens this afternoon at 4.
Holiday shopping season means more deliveries and more chances for porch pirates to strike. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas.
FedEx, UPS, and the United States Postal Service, all of whom offer various options like signature confirmation and email alerts. But in the end, buying local might be the best choice.
Shopping local doesn't mean you have to go in and buy a cart full of stuff. Onesie Tuesdays are special to the recipients.
But if you do have to order online and you can't be there for a scheduled delivery, other alternatives include installing a doorbell camera, making sure your front porch is well lit, and in some cases, asking your neighbors to keep an eye on things and maybe pick up a package as well, with some noting that also creates a sense of community.
A driver is in custody after hitting 2 people in Pierce County. Deputies say this happened about 2 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday on 96th Street South. Witnesses told the News Tribune the car never even slowed down. It hit a bicyclist and a skateboarder crossing near the Woodmark Apartments. The skateboarder's okay, but the bicyclist is in critical condition. The driver crashed head-on into another car. A woman and her baby were inside. They suffered minor injuries. Deputies say the driver faces vehicular assault charges.
7:33. Chris Sullivan has traffic on the 3s.
And 2 places are showing a little bit of slowing on this Veterans Day holiday, but it's manageable. Both are on 405. I'll start with southbound first, up in the Mill Creek area of down from Canyon Park, really, where you see the brake lights from 527 down to 522. But overall, that's really it on that drive from Everett to Bellevue. We've got about a 45-minute drive for you, which is about 10 minutes slower than I-5 is getting. The I-5 drive from Everett down into Seattle is only running 35 minutes at this point. The other direction on northbound 405, we're seeing the Renton S-curves being a little active up past about 30th. But after that, it's really in good shape. We are under 30 minutes, about 26 minutes maybe, from Renton to Bellevue. Not much spillover onto the Valley Freeway. Valley Freeway itself, overall, 45 minutes from end to end. All of the braking we have there really is through Pacific in that construction zone. Olympia to Tacoma freeway speed, and you don't hit the brakes until you're all the way up to the north end of Boeing Field. You've got about 25 minutes out of South Center, which gives us about 40 minutes all the way. Lake bridges are still in great shape. This report brought to you by Closets by Design, custom storage solutions for closets, garages, home offices, and more. Go to Closets by Design to see the current specials or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to learn more.
We're seeing some fog in spots this morning. Otherwise, just a partly cloudy day. 54. It'll be dry. Enjoy, because then it's going to be wet for a while. Look for some showers by tomorrow afternoon. 56. A little bit stormy on Thursday. Showers with gusty winds again in 55. Rain returns late Friday. It'll be here for the weekend. Right now, it's 44 in Seattle.
$7:35 now, and time for this morning's commentary. I keep saying we get what we tolerate, and it turns out we're willing to tolerate a lot in Washington state. A new Forbes study ranks us dead last in America for retail theft. Not bottom 5, not near the bottom, dead last. The thieves have apparently discovered what we already knew. Washington is different. Here's what that looks like in the numbers. We have 48% more retail theft than our population size would predict. The average Washingtonian's share of stolen goods, $347. The national average is 173. Small business owners report being hit with theft daily, weekly, constantly. We're not talking about a desperate mom stealing formula just one time to feed her baby. I've introduced you in recent commentaries to people, drug-addicted people, stealing $500 to $1,000 of merchandise every single day. They sell it to black market dealers for pennies on the dollar. They get arrested occasionally, released quickly, and just return to the same stores the next morning. No detox or treatment required, no consequences that matter. It's just catch and release, like we're managing a fishing pond. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce puts a price tag on this: $2.7 billion in stolen goods in Washington state in 2021. That's $603 million in lost tax revenue. In a state that just passed historic tax increases because we're supposedly broke, we're letting $603 million walk out the door. Democratic State Representative Mari Levitt from West Pierce County deserves credit for actually convening the right people to talk about this. She brought together retailers, police, prosecutors, and loss prevention professionals, not to wring hands, but to face reality. What they discussed was sobering. This isn't just about corporate profits. Mom and pop stores are closing. Workers are being threatened physically. Prices go up for everyone. And the same names keep appearing on police reports, cycling through the system like it's a revolving door designed by someone who hates doors. The solutions aren't mysterious. Target the repeat offenders who commit most of the theft. Connect accountability with actual treatment for addiction. Give prosecutors tools to go after organized crews. Go after the black market stores who pay for stolen goods. Basic stuff that any functioning society would consider obvious. But we've somehow convinced ourselves here that enforcing laws is mean, that expecting people not to steal is judgmental, that businesses should just absorb the losses as the cost of doing business. Here's what I think is really happening. We've confused compassion with permissiveness. Real compassion would be getting that addict into treatment, not enabling their next theft. Real compassion would be protecting the immigrant family's corner store from going under. Real compassion would be making sure tax dollars meant for schools and health care didn't disappear into the black market. We get what we tolerate, and right now, we're tolerating our way to last place in the nation. And that's a commentary for November 11th, 2025. You can always text us, 888-973-5476, or leave a comment at mynorthwest.com.
It's 7:39. What do you have for us coming up in traffic, Sully?
We've got a very, very light Tuesday. A couple places to tell you about. They're the usual ones, and we'll break it down next.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM. Visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com. This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
The markets and the economy will change, but you should always know what you can rely on from your financial advisor. I'm John Ramsire with Baird Private Wealth Management in Seattle. With deep planning and investment expertise, Baird's financial advisors have guided individuals and families through changing markets for more than 100 years. And in all that time, our guiding principle has never changed. Our clients come first, always. Discover the Baird difference at rwbaird.com/Seattle.
7:43, Chris Sullivan is keeping an eye on the roads for us.
And it's been a quiet day and a relatively light lifting for me today, so let's try to keep that going. We're looking at the heaviest brake lights now, the northbound 405 corridor, right there from the 167 interchange up past SR 900. So right there through the S-curves, about 26 minutes to get you up into Bellevue, so a pretty quiet drive there. Behind that on the Valley Freeway, really not much at all out of Auburn up through the north end. We still have the brake lights through the lane restriction in Pacific, but overall 45 minutes or less to run that drive from Puyallup up to Renton. That's a really good number. Looking at Olympia to Tacoma to Seattle, you really don't hit the brakes at all on northbound I-5 all the way up until you get to about the north end of Boeing Field. And then from there on up, it's manageable to normal. 25 minutes out of South Center, 40 all the way from Federal Way. The Lake Bridges are still quiet. Coming down from the north end, brake lights there south of Canyon Park to Bothell. It's back under 45 minutes, but not by much to make it to Bellevue, which is a good day. Overall, 35 minutes from Everett into Seattle. Starting to see a little bit of westbound slowing approaching the trestle and getting over to I-5, but really it's a quiet day all the way around. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. For the first time ever, Lake Washington Windows and Doors is offering 0% interest for 60 months and 15% off new windows and doors. LakeWashingtonWindow.com.
And our forecast, fog in spots this morning. Otherwise, just a partly cloudy day with some peaks of sunshine in the afternoon. 54 today. Tomorrow, here come the showers again by afternoon. 56 tomorrow. And then it looks a little stormy on Thursday. Showers, gusty winds again, and a high of 55. Right now in Seattle, it's 44.
7:45 now. Kelly Clarkson is keeping it real and standing up for herself. Here's KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gishard.
During her studio session show in Las Vegas, Kelly Clarkson told fans a former manager once suggested she get plastic surgery. Her response was pure Kelly, quick, confident, and unapologetic.
This is not normal. You've normalized crazy. Every day out here looking like they're in the Capitol and Hunger Games. It's like windy every day. Calm down. Just get old. Be glad. Not everybody gets to get old. You know what I'm saying?
Kelly added that she's happy just the way she is and she's not changing for anyone.
It's a pretty hard and fast rule. Just never suggest to somebody that they need plastic surgery. That will serve you well throughout life.
You think?
Well, maybe not in the entertainment industry.
All right. Fair enough. Thank you, Katrina. 7:45 now.
Hey, it's a showdown you don't want to miss. Sam Darnold versus his old team. The Seahawks season is in full swing. We want to send you and 3 friends to the November 30th game. All you have to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app, Click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't have the app, just text app, APP, to 888-973-5476. We'll send you a link to download. You can enter daily to increase your chances. The contest runs through Monday, November 17th.
Okay, I've been looking forward to this conversation. CBS Justice correspondent Scott McFarland joins us next to talk about the latest sports betting scandal and why one MLB pitcher's outing against the Mariners is being investigated. That's on the way. You're on Seattle's Morning News.
Stacey Rost here from Seattle Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of. And then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, prescriptions. But imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate, noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas: waistline, face, neck, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. For your free consultation and $250 off, visit ProSculpt.com for powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men. It's ProSculpt.com.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. I'm so excited to have my cousin Amelia with me today. So I saw that you visited the baby chicks.
I got to hold 7 of them. They were so cute.
Do you know why Wilcox chickens are so happy?
Because they get to play outside?
Yes.
Happy chickens are healthy chickens.
From our farm to your table, Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh
since 1909.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
News matters. Experience counts. You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's Morning News.
7:48 now. The latest gambling scandal to hit professional sports was revealed this week as the MLB unveiled an indictment on, the Justice Department unveiled an indictment on Cleveland Guardians pitchers Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz for involvement in a scheme to rig bets on MLB games.
Let's go to CBS Justice correspondent Scott McFarland. This included a game against the Mariners. Scott, tell us more. Can you explain a little for non-baseball fans how this scheme worked?
Yeah, this is a relatively new form of widespread gambling, increasingly popular. Proposition betting, sports prop bets, where you don't bet on the game, you don't bet on the point spread, you're betting on individual plays, like will a pass be completed? Will a pitch be a strike? Will this batter strike out or hit a fly ball? That's been an informal way of betting for some sports gamblers for some time, but it is emerging as a broad, popular way of gambling in these new sports betting worlds, where you can do it on your phone, you can do it at a sports book, you can go to a casino and bet on individual plays. According to the Department of Justice's charging documents, in this case, and in a similar case involving the NBA a couple of weeks ago, they're alleging that some of the players are trading inside information with the gamblers about what's going to happen on that play or in this game so that they can capitalize, the gamblers can, on their prop bets and kick back money some way to the athletes. And that's what's alleged here with 2 pitchers for the Cleveland Guardians.
Could you go into how investigators discovered this? There had been some buzz about this online before these indictments.
Well, part of the issue is that when you see a wave of betting on something as obscure as the first pitch of the 3rd inning of a Cleveland Guardians baseball game, some red flags are going to go up. And the gambling companies, the gaming institutions, and some of the sports leagues themselves monitor such things. And they have independent contractors who monitor such things. And what's alleged here in this charging document is that there were all kinds of red flags that went up when there was a suspicious volume of betting on certain pitches. And when the investigation continued to look at the pitches themselves, What they revealed, according to the charging documents and the imagery included in them, that those pitches were way outside the strike zone and outside the norm, that they didn't have the look and feel of a normal pitch, which would be consistent, allegedly, with somebody who's scheming with the gamblers to tank his performance for the bets.
Scott, are we expecting any more indictments?
That's a great question. And we asked that in our editorial meetings this week because this is the second such case in as many months. And an NBA case brought last month. The same federal prosecutors in Brooklyn, New York have brought this case involving 2 MLB players. Question becomes, are any of the people involved in this scheme going to acknowledge it was a scheme and flip, turn evidence to the country, and maybe at some point turn over more athletes in more sports? I think when you start a federal investigation, you don't know where it goes next, but it often grows. And the number of defendants often grow, too.
Especially with the prospect of some serious prison time. These are 2-4 bad pitches, whatever they are. But how long could these guys be facing behind bars?
These are federal felonies, which means they always necessarily have the prospect of prison time. That's the way the federal system works when you're charged with a felony. I wouldn't try to measure the likelihood of some prison time in a nonviolent first offense type of crime. But this is some serious stuff because you're not just alleging that the people were being ripped off or honest services were being disabused of people. In the NBA case, they're alleging some of that money went to criminal rings. And one NBA coach is charged with a similar poker scheme in which the money allegedly went to the mob. So there is a unique heft to these cases, and it wouldn't rule out some pretty serious punishment for those involved.
Scott, I always scroll through your X feed before we chat because it seems like you always have a million things going on. And one of the things you're watching for is a development in the Ghislaine Maxwell case. What are you looking for?
A couple of different things. In an investigative letter sent to the White House yesterday by the ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee, it is alleged that Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator for sex trafficking, has begun applying for a commutation from President Trump to get out of the last 12 years of her federal prison sentence. Not sure how that's going to go over, but I can guarantee it's going to be controversial. And what's more, there is new evidence released by a congressional committee that the staff at the prison to which Ghislaine Maxwell was recently transferred are waiting on her hand and foot and giving her preferential treatment. Not sure how that's going to go over, but I can guarantee it'll be controversial. And, oh, by the way, later this week, we expect finally the newly elected congresswoman from Arizona to be sworn in. She's to be the most pivotal vote to perhaps release the Epstein case files broadly, a vote that would require the Department of Justice to do so. Lots of shoes to drop there.
All right. Well, we'll count on you to stay on top of it. Scott McFarland, CBS News, thank you. It's 7:53.
That's time for a check on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes for you, and here's Chris Sullivan.
It is a quiet Tuesday out there across the board because of Veterans Day. We are looking at the brake lights in the usual places, but they're not as bad as you might expect. For instance, Renton to Bellevue, we're seeing the brake lights now heavy from about 167 all the way up to about 30th now. Just under a half an hour from Renton to Bellevue, which, a few minutes faster than you might expect. Behind that on the Valley Freeway, there really isn't much out of Auburn, although it's about 15 minutes to get you up to Renton. But behind that, you do have the brake lights through the Pacific area with the lane restrictions. So all the way from the Puyallup area is going to be about 45 minutes. You're not going to really touch the brakes at all from Olympia all the way up to the north end of Boeing Field. So that is a very good drive. Give yourself about 40 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle, with the 25 to 28 of those minutes now getting you up from South Center. That last mile is going to be a little heavy, but not bad. Lake bridges are quiet. Coming down from the north end, 405's even gotten better southbound as you work your way south of Canyon Park. It's really heavy right by 522, but that's it. 40 minutes Everett to Bellevue, 35 Everett to Seattle. So we're in a good place. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Amanda, I've been saying this unofficially, but I think we can make it official now.
What's that, Charlie?
This morning is flying by.
Yes, it is.
And it's a nice day ahead of us, too, with afternoon sun and a high of 54. Showers by tomorrow evening. And then Thursday looks to be stormy, windy, and a lot of rain. 55 for a high then. Right now it's 45 and clear in Seattle.
And coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has the latest on the very tight Seattle mayoral race.
You are listening to Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you. Because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. It's always such a pleasure for me to catch up with you, Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. And as I understand it, calendar year is wrapping up. There's never a better time to take care of your aches and pains. Why?
Well, it's always a great time to come see us here at IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. We'll take care of your aches and pains. We'll get you better. But particularly, Brock, at the end of the year, most people have met their deductibles. They may have HSA, may have FSA funds. So use the opportunity to use your insurance to treat those aches and pains so you're not taking them into the new year. So you're healthy, fit, and you're excited about the new year. That's what it's all about. Here at IRG, we are so dedicated to making sure our patients really understand the insurance because it's a complex world. So when you call us, we're going to help you navigate your insurance. But I will tell everybody listening right now, if you've met your deductible, get your aches and pains treated here at IRG. We'll take care of you. We'll take care of your insurance. We'll take care of your family. We'll take care of everybody.
Clinics up and down the Puget Sound for you to go visit or see them online at irgpt.com.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
Guys, it's time to know your numbers and what they mean. And right now, Revive Men's Health is offering a $400 comprehensive wellness panel for just $99. Free if you start treatment. Offer ends November 30th. Book today at revivemenshealth.com. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. An agreement to end the longest government shutdown makes its way from the Senate, where it was approved late yesterday, to the House. CBS's Nicole Killian is on Capitol Hill.
Part of the deal that cleared in the Senate ensures that there will be some type of vote to extend these health care subsidies in some capacity. Obviously, Republicans say they want some reforms attached, but Democrats did secure at least a guaranteed vote. Where it's not guaranteed is in the House, where Speaker Mike Johnson has not indicated if, in fact, he will even hold a vote on this issue.
Airlines have canceled more than 1,000 flights today. CBS's Bradley Blackburn says it's been a trying time for flyers and air traffic controllers.
Since Friday, there have been more than 30,000 delays and 7,000 cancellations. Airlines say the shutdown has disrupted trips for more than 5.2 million passengers.
Well, President Trump wants the U.S. Supreme Court to overturn the $5 million civil judgment against him in the E. Jean Carroll case. CBS's Nancy Cordes.
He was turned down by an appeals court, and this really is the last stop for him, is the Supreme Court itself. And so in a new filing, his lawyers say that they want a retrial because the case was implausible and the testimony stretched credulity past the breaking point. So we're now watching to see if the Supreme Court decides to weigh in on this civil case, and if so, how.
U.S. officials say the Gerald Ford aircraft carrier group has arrived in Latin America for anti-drug duty. Correspondent Michael Wallace tells us the administration is pulling Border Patrol agents out of the Chicago area.
3 U.S. officials tell CBS News the 200 agents and their commander, Gregory Bovino, could leave as soon as this week. Bovino has defended his agents from criticism that they've used excessive force when arresting people and clashing with protesters.
The use of force that I've seen has been exemplary. And by exemplary, I would say the least amount of force necessary.
Some of the agents in Chicago could be headed to Charlotte for an immigration operation that's expected to start there soon.
Sally Kirkland, the Oscar nominee for the 1987 film Anna, has died. She was 84. It's Veterans Day, and CBS's Stacey Lynn says for some, that means freebies.
To thank current and former military members, a drink is free for vets at Starbucks and Smoothie King on Tuesday. It's burgers for vets on the house at Shake Shack. You can get one free and a bottomless side of fries at Red Robin, too.
And checking Wall Street, the Dow is up 160. This is CBS News.
The annual Progressive Keys to Progress program provides vehicles to deserving veterans, helping our heroes drive their lives forward. Learn more at keystoprogress.com.
8:03 Tuesday morning. Let's check in with Sully.
Enjoying a very good day on this Tuesday Veterans holiday. So we are looking at just some brake lights here and there. Overall, I mean, it's really good. We're under a half an hour to go from Renton to Bellevue. The brake lights there, right there through the middle of the S curves, but not bad. There's a little bit getting into Bellevue as well, but overall a pretty good drive. The Valley Freeway looking at 45 minutes from end to end, and all of the braking you hit there is right through Pacific. The rest of the way on up, it's great. I mean, it's only 15 minutes out of Auburn. Olympia to Tacoma's 35 minutes or less, and you won't hit the brakes on that I-5 northbound corridor till you get up to the north end of Boeing Field, but you will hit them a little harder there. So now it's up to about 30 minutes out of South Center and a little over 42, 43 to go all the way from the Federal Way area. Coming down from the north end, no issues at all. You're going to have an easy drive, 35 minutes to get you into Seattle out of Everett, and about 40 from Everett down into Bellevue. Some brake lights in Bothell, but nothing you can't handle. And the Lake Bridges are quiet. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Good morning. It's 8:04 on the Tuesday, November 11th, 2025, Veterans Day edition of Seattle's Morning News. I'm Charlie Harger with Manda Factor.
Seattle mayoral candidate Katie Wilson has pulled ahead, now leading incumbent Bruce Harrell after trailing by 7 points on election night.
Her lead stands at just 91 votes ahead, and with more ballots set to be counted today, that margin could grow even wider. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more.
Yeah, 91 votes makes this the closest race ever for Seattle mayor. Celebration last night for Katie Wilson on the John Curley Show.
Yeah, I'm in a bar having a drink.
Yeah, after last count, she told John Curley, I think we've got this one. And if the long-standing trend continues, late ballots should go to Wilson and widen her lead.
Really excited, right? I mean, we've been continuing to move forward with our transition planning, and we'll have some exciting announcements soon about people who are involved.
If this race ended right now, there would be a mandatory recount under King County elections rules. This was Republican strategist Randy Pepple on Seattle's Morning News yesterday.
Both campaigns are going to be out there trying to find people who voted, but their ballot isn't being counted because of a signature problem or a verification problem. Those people could end up deciding this election.
We also said we may not know who officially wins until a couple of days before Thanksgiving. when the votes are certified. Harrell's campaign, in the meantime, said in a statement they are focused right now on making sure every vote is counted. The next ballot drop happens today at 4 p.m. By the way, Charlie Manda, if you're wondering what Katie Wilson was having to celebrate last night.
What are you drinking, by the way?
Oh, some sparkling wine. Felt that was appropriate.
So not champagne just yet, not popping champagne corks. It's still too close, but she has taken a lead.
Appreciate it. We'll be all ears here on KIRO Newsradio 4. Find out what those latest results are. 8:06 now. King County Executive-elect Gurmai Zahalai is hitting the ground running by putting his own boots on the ground.
He wants to learn firsthand what the county needs and how he can deliver on those needs.
Spending the night shift in our King County jails, riding the metro buses. You will find me in our public health clinics, learning the issues that you are experiencing every day.
Zahalai is the first immigrant and first refugee to be elected King County executive. He officially takes office November 25th.
A Supreme Court case out of Mississippi could shake up how Washington counts ballots. The Washington State Standard says justices will hear a challenge to counting mail-in ballots received after Election Day. Washington State allows ballots postmarked by Election Day to be counted for up to 21 days. Attorney General Nick Brown filed a brief urging the court to protect that system. He says the case could impact military families and voters overseas. A ruling is expected by the middle of next year.
For over 50 years, this is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Well, good morning. It's Tuesday, November 11th, the day we honor the nation's veterans.
I'm your host, Charlie Harger. That is Manda Factor, and Sully is here checking the roads on the threes. A nice light one for Veterans Day, huh?
Yeah, definitely. We're cruising 20 minutes faster just about everywhere.
All right. Producer David Burbank is here with us. Katrina Dishart is at the news desk, and Brady Robick is filling in for Nick Krasha at the control room today.
Coming up this hour of the show, New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold breaks down the latest with the GOP-led funding measure that's likely to end the government shutdown this week.
And you might have heard us talking about this. G. Scott will stop by to weigh in on the latest sports betting scandal. 2 MLB pitchers have been indicted for foul play.
It's 8:08. A woman is in jail after neighbors reported her lighting things on fire and throwing them into yards Sunday night in Spanaway.
Deputies say they caught the 33-year-old in a backyard with a lighter and an M80 type explosive. Her arrest was recorded by a deputy's body camera.
What did I do? You're setting stuff on fire. Thing on fire. That's the other 2 dudes and girls down there. I swear to God, I didn't set. Come over here. Come over. Okay. He keeps trying to tell me I set something on fire when I didn't.
She faces 2 counts of second-degree reckless burning. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
A former Pierce County Sheriff's Major appeared in court yesterday facing 2 counts of vehicular assault DUI for a crash in Graham. Prosecutors say Chad Dickerson hit an SUV with a family of 6 inside back in July. KIRO 7 TV was in court as Dickerson's family attorney spoke for him.
Mr. Dickerson has already completed an alcohol evaluation. He was determined to have no significant problem with alcohol. He's already attended the DUI victim impact panel.
Dickerson pleaded not guilty to both counts. His next court date is in December. A jury trial is set for January.
With the holidays approaching, police and consumer experts are warning about porch pirates. KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas spoke with delivery companies and local business owners.
Most of these thefts occur between 10 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon, but to avoid the worst, check with your delivery company. For example, with Amazon, there's real-time tracking amongst other safeguards.
Another one is the hidden drop-off location, where you actually tell the drivers where to hide your packages on the front porch, so it's outside of public view.
Amazon is also working with the National Sheriff's Association, 3,000 agencies across the country, creating community-tailored resources to track porch pirates.
Deputies are looking for 2 suspects who stole an excavator and a trailer in the Puyallup area last week. Surveillance video shows them cutting a fence near 112th Street East and 66th Avenue East, hooking up the trailer and driving off. If you have information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. You could get up to $1,000 for your tip. You can see the surveillance video at mynorthwest.com.
All around the region, communities are honoring service members this Veterans Day. At Evergreen Washelli Cemetery, volunteers will place thousands of flags and hear tributes from Joint Base Lewis McChord. At the Museum of Flight, veterans receive free admission today. And on the east side, Sunset Hills Memorial Park hosts a ceremony marking the Vietnam War's 50th anniversary. Also in Tacoma and Eatonville, veterans enjoy free admission at Point Defiance Zoo and Northwest Trek Wildlife Park.
Those events come as we learn the Veterans Day flag placement at Tahoma National Cemetery is canceled this year. King TV reports a government shutdown forced the cemetery to furlough staff. The Tahoma School District says its annual 8th grade service project was called off because of this. Students usually place more than 50,000 flags to honor veterans. The district says it hopes to plan an alternative tribute in the spring.
And your ferry ride this morning could coincide with a fleet-wide horn salute. At 11:11, all vessels underway will sound their horns in honor of Veterans Day. Flags will also be displayed, including the POW MIA flag and one of the nation's 6 military branches. Many veterans work for Washington State Ferries, serving on boats, terminals, warehouses, and headquarters.
So many veterans live around here. I think my dad was a veteran, my Uncle Tim, my Uncle Jim, my brother Richard, my brother-in-law Trip, all veterans today. And
thank all the Hargers for their services.
Absolutely. Okay, it's 8:11 coming up on 8:12. Let's check the weather forecast. It's brought to us by State Roofing and Exteriors. Here's KIRO 7's Nick Allard.
Well, you can count on finding some patchy fog this morning because it is chilly. So some fog early on and cool conditions, but then we'll see some clearing temporarily as then high clouds are going to increase. We go partly to mostly cloudy conditions later today. So the bottom line is not a lot of widespread sunshine today, but still a nice day, still a dry day, just a lot of clouds. From there, we're going to look for highs in the low to mid 50s. Tomorrow, we have a few showers, especially north of Everett, and everyone's going to see those tomorrow night late and into Thursday, where it's just wet on Thursday. Friday starts drier, but then we see some wet weather increasing in the evening hours, leading to some wet conditions this weekend. So yes, the bottom line is some fog this morning. It's chilly. Then you're going to find some partly to mostly cloudy skies this afternoon. Then we got wet weather increasing later tomorrow to the north and wet weather for the next few days.
Right now in Seattle, it's partly cloudy, just a few scattered clouds, 45 at 8:13.
And that's time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes on the threes. Take it away, Sully.
And the heaviest drive is the northbound I-5 corridor as you work your way from about the north end of Boeing Field past the West Seattle Bridge into downtown. But if you got a 28-minute trip from South Center, that's a win because it's only 45 or less to go from Federal Way to Seattle. In fact, you really won't hit the brakes at all on the northbound I-5 corridor from Olympia all the way up to the north end of Boeing Field. So that's great. The Valley Freeway has the brake lights through Pacific where we have the lane restrictions because of that bridge strike. After that, it's only 15 minutes out of Auburn, so a total drive of about 45 minutes to go from Puyallup to Renton. And then Renton to Bellevue is just a shade under a half an hour. The S-curves are active, but by the time you get up towards 44th, you're doing really well. Lake Bridges, quiet. Out of the north end, super quiet. I-5 is only 35 minutes from Everett to Seattle. About 40, maybe under now from Everett to Bellevue with some brake lights in Bothell. 16 looks really good, 18 looking really good, so we are in a very good spot. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Electrical issues? Call Home Comfort Alliance for EV chargers, standby generators, panel upgrades, and more. You could save up to $1,000 at homecomfortalliance.com today.
8:13 now. Time to check in with KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gashari. It sounds like a battle with a toddler over an airplane window shade is making waves online.
It sure is. Let's set the scene. The toddler is sitting in front of a passenger, and the video shows the child repeatedly pulling the window shade down, only for the adult to push it back up. Listen to this. All right, so this tug of war continues. The adult finally just holds the shade down, and the clip ends with the toddler leaning over the passenger seat and putting their hands over his screen. This video has racked up millions of views, with some people calling it the cutest in-flight standoff ever, and others are saying someone needs to control their child. So we're all parents here. How would you handle this situation?
I'd be mortified if my kid did that.
Yeah. It is so stressful and difficult traveling with toddlers. Totally understand why, you might want to just unplug. But, in retrospect, I'm sure parents are like, yeah, I should have probably been plugged in a little bit more.
A lot more for me, I would say.
Thank you, Katrina. It's 8:15. On Tuesdays, we call up New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold to take a look at the top stories of the week.
Of course, the big one this week, compromises made, Democrats breaking rank, the deal to end the shutdown now heads to Congress. Okay, David, take it away.
Well, so the Democrats had been winning the political side of the shutdown. The polls showed that, especially as Trump was trying to, making a huge effort to stop people from getting their SNAP benefits, and as, air traffic controllers and TSA agents were in short supply, people were turning against Trump. So these 8 moderate Democrats at that point agreed to break ranks and vote with Republicans and reopen the government. And so there's been some unhappiness among Democrats that these people basically caved when they were winning. I think their argument is that the pain for people, for actual people, was really high. People were losing aid they needed to live. They were having trouble flying places. They were getting stuck in the air when there wasn't enough air traffic controllers. And basically, the risk for individual people was too high. And the shutdown had to end sometime. It couldn't last Trump's entire term. So why not end it now when they've made their point? So that's where we are now. The government will reopen, and the Democrats will hope to build on the momentum they got from this last couple months.
I would hate being called a cynic, but I couldn't help but notice the senators who went with this and wanted to compromise are also not up for re-election. I'm curious, is there any buzz that some of this might just be theater, David?
Yes, definitely. Chuck Schumer, who's the Senate minority leader for the Democrats, voted against this deal, and I said, he's sorry this happened. But you have to think this was orchestrated, that they decided that they didn't want to risk the political consequences or the human consequences of all the things that were about to happen. And so he found the people who were most able to walk the plank. And I think a lot of these folks, the senators, Democratic senators, were the sort of moderates who would have done it anyway. Like they weren't being forced to do something against their will. But he definitely chose people who would face no political blowback because they're not running again.
What do you make of Chuck Schumer's future now? Some people are calling for him to step down.
I don't think he's going to last very long. And not that I think he's going to step down from his position now, but the bigger threat for him is that he's got a re-election race in New York and a Democratic primary. I saw a poll yesterday that has AOC, where she would choose to run, trouncing him. He just is somebody who is like out of a different time, and he's leading a Democratic Party that's really changed and really wants something different. And he's a creature of a much more congenial, genteel Washington, and I think it's hard to be that now.
David, I would hate to be called a cynic, but Republican side of this, are they going to actually allow a vote on health care in both the House and Senate?
It's a good question. That was what the Democrats wanted all along. In the Senate, John Thune, who's the Senate Majority Leader, has promised that. In the House, Mike Johnson has not. Remember, this is the thing that these are Obamacare premiums. This is what the Democrats said the shutdown was about. Because of things that Republicans have done since Trump took over, the premiums for people who rely on government health care, on Obamacare, are going to get much higher. And they were saying that's wrong. Let's restore them so people can afford these things. And so Mike Johnson, the House Speaker, said, no, we're not going to have a vote on that. I think in the Senate, even there, the expectation is the vote will not pass because Republicans will vote against it. So the Democrats are betting that people around the country, as they start seeing higher insurance premiums and it bites into their budget, are going to want to know who to blame. And the Democrats are saying we're going to make clear that Republicans are to blame for this.
David, yesterday the president issued pardons for Rudy Giuliani and dozens of other allies accused of trying to overthrow the 2020 election results. What do these pardons really mean?
Well, in a practical sense, basically nothing. These, none of these people were facing federal charges anyway, and Trump only has power over federal charges. And so, but it's for him, it's a way to show, once again, that he believes what he did in 2020, trying to overturn the election, was fine. It was great. It was, there was nothing illegal about that. That's been one of his main obsessions since he won the second time, was to try to go back and relitigate what happened in 2020 and, do everything he can to show people that there was nothing done wrong there. So that's the point of that. It was not really that they were in legal jeopardy now, but just to show everybody that, there was nothing wrong with what happened then.
On social media, President Trump is saying that he wants to send essentially a rebate check, a stimulus check to the American people, and it'll be paid for with tariffs. What do we know about this, and how much are we making with tariffs?
This is an idea that he's talked about off and on, and that he's picked up on now. I think this is partly because the Supreme Court is considering whether he has the power to impose all these tariffs. And as I think the questioning in the last Supreme Court hearing indicated that maybe they think he doesn't. So there's some chance those tariffs will go away. I think this is partly, Trump's trying to address what the Democrats really ran on in the elections a couple weeks ago, which was affordability, but also trying to sort of, say to the Supreme Court, hey, you can't get rid of my tariffs because the money's already gone. I already gave it back to the American people. I don't know if he could do that. But one thing that he has said before is that the tariffs are a way of balancing the budget. These tariffs are raising billions and billions of dollars, and that those are designed to put the U.S. on a better fiscal course. And if you just give that money away, it seems like you undo that benefit.
Hey, before we let you go, David, I wanted to ask you about a piece you did on the decline of one of the country's largest environmental organizations, the Sierra Club. What did you find?
So we looked at the Sierra Club because they're at a very low ebb now. They were a really strong opponent of President Trump in his first term. In his second term, they've lost 60% of their support. They were been in huge budget deficits. They're not spending as much money on politics. And this summer, they had a huge debacle where they had to fire their executive director. And so we went back to try to figure out, okay, well, what happened? How did they go from this position of huge strength and power in Trump's first term to this position of weakness? And what we found was that during Trump's first term, they decided that they had to broaden their mission. So before they had been focused on the environment and particularly on closing down coal-fired power plants. And that during Trump's first term, when they were full of money and had lots of volunteers, they said, it's got to be bigger. We got to fight for social justice and racial justice and trans rights and immigrant rights and gay rights. What we found was that they basically blew their coalition up by trying to make it a broad social justice organization, when they actually had donors and volunteers who just wanted to be one thing, who just wanted to deal with the environment. So there was lots of turmoil. They investigated people. People stopped giving. Members left. And they ended up a much weaker version of themselves after trying to be something much bigger and stronger. I think it's kind of a good lesson for liberal groups in the age of Trump, too. So many of them have come to his second term much weaker than they were in his first. For reasons like this, they spent their last few years fighting with other liberals about what it means to be a liberal instead of just focusing on the topic that brought people together and accepting that some people who agree on the environment won't agree on everything else.
It was really interesting. Basically, when you are telling this story in a video, sounds like it's very left already, but some are saying it's not left enough, and that's what tore them apart.
That's right. And so they started to do things like, okay, well, we're going to have a language guide where we're going to tell everybody in the organization what words you can't say. And that includes things like you can't say vibrant, you can't say hardworking because those are racist tropes. You can't say Americans because some people aren't American citizens. You can't even say lame duck session because lame is offensive. And then people that sort of didn't agree with those things or didn't go along with a new position, they started to investigate them. And so you get a call from a lawyer and get interrogated because you were not, values were not aligned. So it sort of started to feed on itself.
Fascinating stuff. David, thanks for your time as always. We appreciate talking with you on Tuesdays. New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold.
Thank you.
It's 8:23. Let's check in with Chris Sullivan with traffic on the threes.
It's about as quiet as you can get out there on the roads at this point. Just some brake lights in a couple of places left over, like northbound I-5, right there from about the West Seattle Bridge into downtown. Those last couple miles are going to be tough, but overall, it's 26 minutes to go from South Center to downtown, which puts us under 40 all the way from Federal Way. The other pocket right there in the Renton S-curves, and then a little bit more over the top of I-90 into Bellevue, but overall under 30 minutes, closer to 26 again to go from Renton to Bellevue. The Valley Freeway is even not bad getting through the Pacific Work Zone there or through the lane restrictions. We're under 45 minutes. This is about as quiet as it can get. I mean, I could say it more than once. Olympia to Tacoma, no issues. Coming down from the north end, a free and easy drive everywhere from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Everett to Bellevue is about 38 minutes. Everett to Seattle is about 35. There are a couple of brake lights in Bothell, but nothing at all really by any day standards, and the lake bridges are super quiet. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. For the first time ever, Lake Washington Windows and Doors offering 0% interest for 60 months, 15% off new windows and doors. Visit lakewashingtonwindow.com.
Still seeing some fog in spots this morning. Otherwise, just a partly cloudy day and 54. Should be dry all day. For tomorrow, look for the showers to return by afternoon, 56 tomorrow, and then showers with gusty winds on Thursday, 55. We'll calm down to some scattered showers late on Friday and 53. Right now, it's 44 in Seattle.
Coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey on a debate over who King County has been hiring to staff its jails.
Sully, you have a choke point coming up?
Yes, I do. We're going to take a look at slow down, move over, and why people seem to be very confused about this pretty simple law.
I love the fact that Mike Novak sells more homes than anybody else. This guy works so hard. You know what's happening? People are selling their homes again. And if you don't have Mike Novak's name on that sign, well, you're wasting your time and your house is just going to be sitting on the market. Mike is so confident that he can sell your house quickly. And for more, you'll pay no commission if Mike Novak doesn't sell that home in 21 days. So go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell Novaks for you. Novaks. Meetthenovaks.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
You've been wiring pounds to a second wife in London.
It's not what it looks like.
And here she is now.
Sure it isn't.
Hello, darling.
Elizabeth?
Did you know our husband used a bank instead of Wise to send you money? What an imbecile.
Well,
see, even your secret wife knows that banks are slow and hide fees in overseas transfers.
Those cheaters.
If you want to send money overseas, use Wise. They're faster and they don't hide fees.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
Cold is leaking and rats are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Stacey Rost here from Seattle Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of. And then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, prescriptions. But imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate, noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas: waistline, face, neck, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. For your free consultation and $250 off, visit ProSculpt.com for powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men. It's ProSculpt.com.
I'm Macy House with Baird Global Investment Banking. In today's markets, global financial capabilities aren't worth much without personal attention to your priorities. Baird Banking, Research, and Private Equity professionals are located across 3 continents, sharing more than investment expertise. As employee owners of our firm, we all have a personal stake in your success, here in the Pacific Northwest and around the world. Discover the Baird difference. Visit rwbaird.com/Seattle.
Looking for high-quality assisted living that won't drain your life savings?
At Care Partners Living, we offer compassionate care at a price that helps stretch and preserve your estate. No unnecessary luxury, just the support you need with dignity and heart. And if you ever need to convert to Medicaid, you don't have to move. With communities across Washington and Arizona, including new locations in Port Orchard, Sumner, Mercer Island, and North Creek Bothell, there's a Care Partners community near you. Care Partners Living, compassionate care and peace of mind. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
What's your holiday tradition? For most, it's gathering with a joyful meal. Unfortunately, for many families, that tradition feels out of reach. To help, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors the next time you're at Safeway checkout or visit nourishingneighbors.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 8:30. King County is suing the state of Washington, fighting to keep 38 corrections officers on the job.
They were hired legally under federal law, but not under state law because of their immigration status.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here to explain.
Yeah, this is an exclusive and developing story that we're following on Seattle Red 770 AM. At the center of the lawsuit are those 38 corrections officers hired by the Department of Adult and Juvenile Detention. County officials say they are fully trained and legally authorized to work in the U.S. on work visas. Under federal law, that's allowed generally for working in the United States, but state law says specifically law enforcement like corrections officers can only be certified if they are U.S. citizens, permanent residents, like if they have a green card, or DACA recipients. It was just last year in Washington that the state joined 4 other states that have opened up law enforcement jobs to DACA recipients, including California, Colorado, Illinois, and New Jersey. Well, King County wants Superior Court to now decide if those restrictions on work visas amounts to discrimination. The county also says losing those 38 officers would be devastating, especially as jails everywhere struggle with chronic staffing shortages. So, Charlie and Amanda, the main arguments against allowing people to work with work visas to work in law enforcement are really these. Officers may need access to confidential databases, and officers have extraordinary powers like arrest. They can detain people, use of force. Many people believe only citizens should have those powers. So just to be clear, this is not a case of workers being here in the U.S. illegally. It's about who can work where under work visas. That hearing for that injunction is scheduled for the 26th, the day right before Thanksgiving, in King County Superior Court.
Thanks for the update, Luke. Well, she was 7 percentage points behind on election night.
Now, Seattle mayoral candidate Katie Wilson is in the lead, and we get the update from KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay.
Wilson's lead over incumbent Bruce Harrell is very, very small. She's up by 91 votes, 133,469 for her, 133,378 for him.
Those young people, man, they just wait to the last minute. And we know that young people are, by and large, strong supporters of our campaign. So we're feeling really hopeful for these last few ballot drops.
In fact, she told John Curley right after Monday's numbers came in, quote, "I think we got this one." Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
In a statement, the Harrell campaign says it's, quote, working to ensure that every vote is counted. This is important work and essential in a close race. Next dump of numbers happens this afternoon at 4.
A local pizza legend is bringing home a big honor. King TV says Will Grant of Kingston won a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Pizza World Cup. He owns 2 pizzerias and teaches at the Pacific Northwest School of Pizza. Grant also coached 2 teams that took first place in Italy. He calls it an incredible feeling to see American pizza shine on the world stage.
Did you know there was a Pacific Northwest School of Pizza?
I had no idea. Now, the 2 pizza restaurants, they're Sourdough Willie's in Kingston.
Yes.
Or That's Some Pizza on Bainbridge Island.
Sounds delicious. It's 8:33, time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. How about it, Sully?
It's great. It is a fabulous day to be out on the roads on this Veterans Day. Just a couple of spots that have some braking. Northbound I-5, even on a holiday, is going to see some getting into the city, especially with the express lanes going southbound. But we have brake lights from about the north end of Boeing Field into downtown, but it's only 25 minutes from South Center, and that's a 40-minute trip from Federal Way. That's great. Valley Freeway does have a little bit more braking right through the Pacific area where we lose the lane for the lane restrictions, but overall, under 45 minutes to make the drive because once you're through that, you're not going to hit the brakes again until you get up into the ramp meters on northbound 405. And then Renton to Bellevue is only running 25 minutes. Even the S-curves have relented today. That's great. Lake Bridges, quiet. Out of the north end, we're under 40 minutes for both Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Probably closer to 35 for either one of those. So that's great. As I said, the Lake Bridges are fine. 18 is perfect. 16, no issues. Olympia to Tacoma is perfect. So now would be a time to get out there and enjoy the drive as it was designed. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can search Seattle Sports on YouTube, click subscribe, and get fresh video content daily.
Forecast looks like we will have afternoon sunshine, a high of 54. Afternoon showers tomorrow, 56 for a high, and stormy on Thursday and rainy the next couple days after that. Right now in Seattle, we have mostly clear skies. It's 45.
And it's 8:35.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
Slow down, move over. It's the law in every state, but do you actually do it?
Sully. You have a reminder of our personal responsibility behind the wheel.
Yes, I do. And it's on its face. The law is pretty simple. I mean, you see flashing lights on the side of the road. You slow down and you move over. But a recent AAA survey of 12,000 drivers using asking them questions and some traffic camera data showed that there's a lot of confusion over the rules.
All 50 states do have some form of a slow down, move over law. They do vary state to state, though. And one of the big findings of this research study is that most drivers generally are aware, like you are, like, yeah, isn't there some kind of law? They have no idea what the law entails.
Megan West is the chief experience officer for AAA of Washington. She says the survey showed about 65% of drivers either slowed down or moved over, not both, which is required under the law.
People generally are picking one or the other. They're slowing down or moving over, and then about a third of individuals are just doing neither. And so really we're looking for both to maintain the maximum safety, but in some cases, one or the other is appropriate as well. We're looking for more compliance.
Washington's law requires you to drop your speed by at least 10 miles an hour over the posted speed limit and get over a lane if it's safe to do so. The fine, $214. Originally, the law only applied to emergency vehicles on the side of the road, but now it's been expanded to truck drivers and construction zones.
Please slow down and move over. It's as simple as that. You don't even need to worry about who. If you see flashing lights, red, amber, blue, orange, any flashing light, just adopt the behavior to slow down and move over.
West says AAA is looking to extend the law to cover anybody who is pulled over to the shoulder, because right now, us regular drivers, we're not covered.
The one element that's not covered in our state is you, the driver. So if you're on the side of the road and no one's come to your aid yet, you're actually not part of that slow down, move over.
46 emergency responders were killed last year across the country while assisting people on the roads. Washington has had several recent fatal crashes involving tow truck drivers. The simple ask, if you've ever been stuck on the road, you know how scary it can be there, and especially at the freeway. Put yourself in that person's shoes the next time you consider flying past somebody on the shoulder. And just for clarification, this is different from Washington's mandatory move right law for emergency vehicles coming up behind you. This is if you see something on the side of the road, you have to get over and slow down. This is not, it's different from the people from when you have to mandatorily get over if something's coming up behind you.
You covered this sort of stuff for years with Colleen and Dave, and it was just an ongoing issue. One of the things that you did a lot of reports on was the push by a lot of emergency vehicles that are not police or fire. So, for example, tow trucks, WSDOT vehicles, to have different colored lights on them.
Yep.
And I've been noticing some tow trucks flashing the blue that kind of looks like a cop car, and the WSDOT vehicles flashing the amber and green.
And now green.
Yeah.
Yeah. The legislature changed that a few years ago because from the perspective of we're more, I guess, prepared to pull over when we see blue or red, right? Because those are fire. They're police. Well, the tow truck drivers now have the authority to use blue as well because they think it's a better cue to drivers to slow down. And also the green in using with the WSDOT vehicles, they now alternate between orange and green or yellow and green because they think it's, again, a visual cue that you need to be paying a little bit better attention. So, yeah, that's a new rule. I think I was in talking with Megan, all of the AAA certified tow trucks out there now flash blue, but they can do that. And again, it's more of a visual cue for us drivers to slow down and give them plenty of space.
All right. And you need to do it. It's 8:39 now. It's a showdown you won't want to miss. Sam Darnold versus his old team. The Seahawks season is in full swing. We want to send you and 3 friends to the November 30th game. All you need to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app, click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, you just need to text app to 888-973-5476. We will send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, November 17th.
What's coming up in current traffic, Sully?
We're going to talk about the one spot that's really slowing today, and that's northbound I-5, but it's not by much. We'll break it down next.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Progressive presents a testimonial of sorts.
Hey, slow down! Oh yeah? Well, you drive like my grandma! She's a very attentive and courteous driver who wears a seatbelt and always uses her turn signals. She's also a talented painter and has very low cholesterol. Not that that has anything to do with her driving, just thought a more complete picture of who she is might be interesting. Anyway, have a nice day.
Safe driver? Get Snapshot from Progressive and get a personalized rate based on how you drive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. When it comes to the technology that the IRS is using, they're updating systems that haven't been updated in decades. And while that might sound great for them, it's usually bad for the taxpayer who owes.
It is, and their systems, unfortunately, they're just legacy systems. If you try to make an inquiry on some things, it's like you got to know how to use programming language to find it. But they are working on updating that system, and I hope that really they do, because they'll serve us better, the taxpayer better, and get things done quicker. The other thing they're doing is AI, just like every organization. So they're already using it to some extent to put in profile of certain things that they want to look for in a taxpayer and find those people and go after them or see what's going on, why they're not getting their money.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn, None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
8:43, Chris Sullivan is watching traffic for us.
And we are enjoying a very good day. It's about as quiet as it can be. There's just one little spot left where we have heavy brakes, and that's northbound I-5. And even there, it's getting much better. This is just past the West Seattle Bridge into downtown. Overall, 25 minutes out of South Center and 40 from Federal Way. That's just great. And behind that, Olympia to Tacoma is freeway speed the whole way. Valley Freeway, we do have the brake lights getting into Pacific now. Again, it's kind of heated up there again a little bit as you approach the lane restriction, but a 45-minute trip or less to get you up into Renton's a pretty good travel time, even with that lane restriction. And then the Renton S-curves have calmed down, but we do have brake lights now at the north end as you approach the 405-990 corridor, and then we've got it's about 25 minutes total to make that drive. Out of the north end, 35 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. The lake bridges are super quiet, and nothing really on 18 or 16 either, so it's a good day. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. The warehouse clearance sale ends soon. Save 25 to 75%. Enjoy 18 months, 0% financing. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
We're starting to see a little bit of sunshine in Seattle. We're headed for a high of 54 with partly cloudy skies for the day. Tomorrow will be nice in the morning, see some sunshine, but occasional rain showers in the afternoon and a high of 56. And then Thursday looks kind of stormy again. Showers, gusty winds, and 55. It'll start raining again Friday night, and it looks like it's going to be a wet weekend. Right now, partly sunny and 44 in Seattle.
It's 8:45 now. Dolly Parton out with a new book, and Katrina Gashard is here with more.
Her new book is called Star of the Show, My Life on Stage, and Dolly has this message for her fans.
I poured my heart into this, looking back on all the amazing stages, all the beautiful faces, and all the incredible moments that I've been able to see across my career so far. And I really hope you enjoy taking this journey with me.
The book has hundreds of photos and follows Dolly as a young performer, then as a solo artist who topped the charts with Here You Come Again.
Katrina, thank you. 8:45 now.
And coming up, G. Scott's going to weigh in on the latest sports betting scandal. That's next here on Seattle's Morning News.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
JTV, Jewelry Television. With 80,000 jewelry looks, we're kind of a big deal. Even bigger with new lines of designer handbags, fragrances, and more. And biggest of all, because you could win a 7-night stay in Bali, spending money, and thousands worth of JTV jewelry, making you kind of a big deal. Enter by December 7th at jtv.com/sweepstakes. No purchase necessary. Then watch JTV on TV or shop jtv.com for big holiday deals.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99. Or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Fall rains can expose hidden roof problems, and once water gets in, the damage only gets worse. Is your roof ready for the season? Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. At State Roofing and Exteriors, we repair and replace roofs with a quality you've trusted for decades. And yes, we also provide siding, windows, decks, and gutters to keep your entire home protected. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule a free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Seattle's Morning News. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
It's a nice sunny day. It's a national holiday. There's a lot going on in the news, and the only way to make my day any better
is to bring in G. Scott from the G and Ursula show.
Man, I didn't know I was welcome like this.
Oh, heck yeah.
thanks for being here today, buddy.
Hey, good morning.
I have been following this story since the weekend. We spoke just recently with CBS's Scott McFarlane about this sports gambling investigation, where now it sounds like there are 2 Cleveland Indians pitchers allegedly involved in doing this, including one pitching against the Mariners.
What's their name, Charlie?
It is, I'm trying to look their names.
The name of the team, Charlie?
Oh, the Guardians.
It's easy to slip back into old habits, isn't it?
Oh, I did. I didn't even think about it. The Cleveland Guardians.
I'm guessing you're not surprised by this.
Oh, no, not at all. As a matter of fact, we're all parents here right now, so let's talk about that. Imagine being a parent and you are at home every day, all day, every day, and your kids around. And every day that you wake up, you wear a T-shirt that says Colt 45, Billy D. Williams. And then you wear another shirt that says marijuana right here. And then every single shirt that you wear is either alcohol and or marijuana. Every day you wear that shirt. And then one day you get a call from the school that says, hey, little Larry was caught in the bathroom drinking a 6-pack. Are you shocked? No, you're not. And until MLB, NBA, NFL chills out with this partnership, we will continue to see this. Oh, by the way, baseball, MLB said, hey, after taking a further look at this new gambling scandal, we have just announced that a pitch-by-pitch micro bets will now be capped at $200 and cannot be included in parlays. Clutch the pearls. Oh, my gosh. Oh, so what was happening is the micro bets in particular were a pitch that were being called. So if you thought it was going to be a ball or a strike, you could actually bet on that, right? Now, the reason why what's happening is because technology is here. It is easier to catch people. But the problem is more and more we keep doing this, our kids, David Burbank's kids, the young generation, they're just going to come up and just automatically assume that there's just cheating in the sport. For so many years, we as fans, we saw Pete Rose, and we saw what baseball did to Pete Rose. I think that made us have okay, this game there's a lot of integrity. They didn't even let Pete Rose into the Hall of Fame or nothing. Now we're seeing it every week. We're talking about gambling. So when's enough? Well, that's the thing about money. It ain't never enough money. So
why do you think athletes are doing this?
Because it's never enough money?
Thank you, Manda. There's just never enough.
This is like $5,000.
Real quick. Not even talk about athletes. Let's just talk about us. Could you guys go for making more money?
Who couldn't?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's no different than when you get to that level. You make $5 million, you want $10 million. Matter of fact, you talk to all of the people around the world, the investment folks and everything, if they're making $10, $15 million a year, that's never enough. Because money is the goal in that case. And I've said this on my show. I don't know if I said it here, and I'll say it again. When you start talking about happiness is the gap between what you have and what you want. You know what I mean? And so, Charlie, I think this will continue. It is easier for it to happen. They can make little moves. Until there's a disconnect and disassociation, we will continue to see this.
Well, yeah, the betting sites and sports are basically married now, right? So you have to somehow figure out the divorce.
When you're watching the games and you go to commercial, what's the first thing you say? FanDuel. DraftKings.
Can you talk about that for just a second, though? Because here in Washington State, you can't sit on your couch, watch the game, and bet on it in real time. You got to go to a casino. But most of the rest of the country, you can sit on your couch and bet.
Yeah. Yes, and that's bad. And I thought that too, Charlie. But these folks that know how to really do it with their phones and VPNs and all that kind of stuff, they be sitting right there on the couch right here in the state of Washington.
Well, and you talk about kids. We're conditioning kids to want to do these types of bets with all these apps. Every single game you have, you can essentially be betting on it with, by the way, real money with all these in-app purchases.
I mean, imagine you sit next to Lois. Your 401k has X amount of dollars in it. You sit next to Lois, and Lois is talking about retirement in the next 5 years. And you look in there, you just like, Lois, you just don't know. That QR code came up, and the QR code says, hey, you can have $100 for free to bet. And Lois, that started my gambling. And I know we plan to retire in 5 years, but right now we got nothing.
Now, what's Lois's spouse's name? Because their child is Larry.
Beaver?
Beaver and Beaver and Lois. Okay.
Beaver.
Okay.
Leave it to Beaver.
Why not?
You know what I'm saying?
8:53 now.
It's not good unless I get kicked. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, my man used to get kicked out and thrown out of the house.
Yeah.
DJ Jazzy Jeff, remember that?
Yeah.
Man, they got to kick me out first.
Okay, well, they're playing your music, so we'll listen to the show 9 to noon, but you need to go now.
Oh, yeah!
Nice to see you, G.
Sully is at the traffic desk.
One of the reasons we're still seeing some slowing past the West Seattle Bridge on northbound I-5 on this quiet Veterans Day is that we have a stall over on the right-hand shoulder now. Was blocking the HOB lane briefly, but it's over to the shoulder, and we really just have very minimal slowing past it. Under 25 minutes from South Center to downtown, under 40 all the way from Federal Way. That's great. The Renton S-curves have even gotten better. The reason we're a little slow into Bellevue is there looks like there's something like a stall over on the left-hand shoulder as you work your way past High 90. Behind that on the Valley Freeway, we have the brake lights through Pacific, but other than that, nothing. It's under 45 minutes to make that drive. Coming down from the north end, a little slowing in Bothell again, but overall, we've got 38 minutes from Everett to Bellevue, 35 Everett to Seattle. This report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. Country's rising star Chase Matthews hitting the Emerald Queen December 7th. Don't miss your chance to see one of country music's boldest new voices. Only at the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
I didn't realize before I landed here 7 months ago how much I needed a daily dose of G. Doesn't everybody? All right, it's going to be a nice day. We'll see some sunshine, 54, but the showers return by tomorrow afternoon. A high tomorrow, 56. It's 44 in Seattle now.
And coming up, it is a G and Ursula show with how grocery stores are ripping us all off with their clearance prices.
Fall is here, school's back in session, and business will soon be booming with the upcoming holiday season. So get ready with help from WaFd Bank. Position your business for success with services like payment processing, so customers can buy through kiosk, mobile, online, contactless, whatever way they want to pay. Plus, get industry-leading security and personalized help from dedicated IT support so you can focus on the important stuff. With so many options, WaFd Bank can make your business goals a reality. WaFd Bank, built for business. Visit wafdbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at washingtonaccidentbooks.com.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
At Bank of America, we're proud that more than 20,000 veterans and people with military backgrounds have joined our ranks since 2015. Now we're committed to adding 10,000 more over the next 5 years. By helping veterans achieve their career goals, we're moving from appreciation to action, and together helping expand economic opportunity across America. Visit bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
If your closets are bursting at the seams like the Curly household, it's time to call the pros at Closets by Design Seattle. Every job is completely custom. Free in-home design consultation. Right now, they're offering big savings up to 40% off, plus an additional 15% off with 18 months financing and free installation. You're getting the quality and backing of a national brand, but with friendly local Seattle service. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule your free in-home design consultation today.
The markets and the economy will change, but you should always know what you can rely on from your financial advisor. I'm John Ramsire with Baird Private Wealth Management in Seattle. With deep planning and investment expertise, Baird's financial advisors have guided individuals and families through changing markets for more than 100 years. And in all that time, our guiding principle has never changed. Our clients come first, always. Discover the Baird difference at rwbaird.com/Seattle.
When the weather outside is frightful, a hot tub or sauna is delightful. During Olympic Hot Tub's Heat Up the Season sale, gift yourself year-round wellness with a saltwater hot spring spa or Tilo sauna. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
KIRO FM.